to the right. New York City says we're just going to go out to the Pacific Ocean. That's cool.
God.
But it's not my city. It was a hellhole before. It'll be a hellhole again. We have a lot to get to this morning. Same stale song and dance from the Democrats as they try to impeach Donald Trump yesterday, even to the point where it was so bad that a majority of Democrats said, yeah, nah, we're going to sit this one out. We'll talk about that this morning. Also, Big Balls has left Doge.
Oh, good God.
The man who was 19 and had the world literally by the balls has left the Department of Government Efficiency. ICE nabbing Iranian terrorists in this country. We'll talk about that. Snow Woke is back because if you ruin an almost impossible historical Disney movie, you should get a second chance right away. That has happened. And now Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to cancel Mark Levine. We'll talk about that.
Levine?
Levin.
Oh.
What did I say, Levine?
What did Steve Bannon call him? Tel Aviv Levin.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm just going to sit back and eat popcorn.
Road Warrior really has a disdain for Mark Levin.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's been tweeting since like 5 o'clock this morning at me.
Oh, gee.
Like I'm like their personal sounding board.
We are 6:05. Better late than never. We're up on YouTube. So if you're listening on 1210 or listening on the Odyssey app, we are up on YouTube. YouTube.com/1210WPHT.
Yes. Cut Sheet, Fight Club, Tony Bruno, and a whole lot more.
Was.
I have no idea. But
The heat.
we have a ton to get to today. I mean, this could be
the biggest load that we've seen.
I mean, it's massive. So let's get down to business. 6:05, round number one of the news. The great Dawn Stensland.
Good morning, Kayal and Company. News Live on this hot, heating up morning. We are on this June 25th, Wednesday, sponsored by First Bank for you. And as we begin this morning, we have so much breaking, so much to update you on. So we have a big bust to begin with. This is as authorities say they've busted up a commercial burglary ring accused of being responsible for thefts across the region. That means the suburbs of South Jersey, Philadelphia, and as well as other outside the region. So these thieves, and this has been going on since last month, they were captured on video taking $300,000 worth of handbags and jewelry. This from a jewelry store on Washington Street in Cape May, New Jersey. It was Queen May Jewelry Store. It started, so we believe that's one of the first heists that they pulled off. They were able to get some DNA evidence, and items left behind by the suspects helped lead to the ID of these suspects. That, according to Cape May, New Jersey police. So the suspects are tied to other burglaries in our region, and these go across Cherry Hill, Haddonfield, Philadelphia. This goes all the way back to the one in Philadelphia, all the way back to last September.
Does this include any of the meat or tuna bandits?
No.
Okay.
Because it's, I was thinking, like, for Sean Farish Friday, we always, talk about there's something for him with for some reason, the bandits strike or are caught on Friday, right?
You're right. The beef burglars.
So in this one, these suspects committed at least 18 different burglaries, and that's across our region, across the Philadelphia region, like I say, South Jersey, into New York, as well as to Maryland. And so they say they broke into consignment shops in the middle of the night using sledgehammers, other objects, stole dozens of designer bags, other items from each of those shops, and then transported the stolen goods across state lines. So that from authorities across our region, working with law enforcement across actually Washington, D.C., Maryland, like I say, really a regional situation. And they are the suspects identified ages 21 through 35 years old. So they've caught 6 of them, obviously still looking for some others. But we wanted to update you on that one, on this crime ring that they've been able to bust, and using crime lab type technology as well as the surveillance images and matching that up. So law enforcement regionally working together. We also have several firefighters rushed to the hospital after they were battling the flames and the extreme heat This happened yesterday in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, Delco. So 3 of these firefighters suffered from severe heat exhaustion as they worked in those 100-degree temperatures. This happened in the 200 block of West Chelsea Circle. This is Newtown Square. It happened yesterday afternoon where the fire badly damaged these 3 townhomes and several others. And so they were trying to bring in pallets of water to bring those in, popsicles, cold towels, the community coming together, as those firefighters were out there because it was just, it was just like a sauna outside.
Unbearable. It was bad. Yesterday I had the AC as low as 66 in the house yesterday. I was like, you cannot make this cold enough for me right now.
Oh, my goodness. That's too cold. 66.
60, yeah, it was like an icebox.
Wait a second. You're the reason why people, why we have blackouts and lose power. Mm-hmm. Because you have to keep your dumb house at 66.
How low do you go? 68, 70?
No, it was like 72 yesterday.
You keep your house at 72?
Which is freezing.
Really? You think so?
My house was 71.
But it also depends on the floor. It's always warmer upstairs. So I can't. So when I go to sleep, there's no way 72 or 70 would have been viable upstairs. Downstairs, yes. Upstairs, no.
If we just had some basic human courtesy and everybody just said, keep your house, we're just going to all 75. Keep our house at this temperature, we wouldn't have the problems during heat waves that we do.
It's my electric bill. Why do you care?
Because it
then get a generator. Go to MT rule. What is this? Socialist air conditioning?
I didn't say it needed to be a government mandate.
Everybody stay at 72. We don't have an outage.
I didn't say it needed to be a government mandate. I just said basic human decency because you keep your house at 66 degrees.
Just when I went down to bed at 10:15. That's it. That's it. That's
ridiculous.
Wife is freezing this morning. She looked like she was in an igloo.
Yeah, right when you left.
Yep.
She
4 o'clock
this
sucker
morning,
up.
she's like, putting that up.
Guaranteed.
So speaking of power, here's the thing. We've talked about the storms that did strike last Thursday, and I can vouch. I felt like a hurricane. It was those fast-moving storms taking down trees. Peco saying they still have a little over 1,000 customers.
God.
Can you believe this?
Oh, my
still
God.
without power. Tomorrow will be...
What's the holdup?
Night is 1 week. Well... That brings us to the union representing the linemen and other workers who've been restoring power across our region for Peco following the June 19th storm. They issued a statement, and the union heads and the union president of IBEW Local 614, they claim Peco was unprepared for the storm that resulted in about 1/3 accounts losing power. So this is Larry Anastasi, who's, like I say, the president of IBEW, the local here, and represents more than 1,400 Peco workers. In the statement, he said that they have serious systemic problems within Peco's response and communication through the dispatch, and an unwillingness, he claims, to invest in the workforce. For example, he claimed line workers often waited for hours for assignments, and multiple teams were then assigned to respond to the same circuit, which then can result in safety issues. And then you have all these crews showing up in the same place as opposed to he says, being dispatched to the, different areas. And all these, so it's a dispatch communication.
Jeez.
Now, Peco...
Well, we've never had storms in the summer?
Peco says it's I think they said it's in their top 20 worst ever storm that they've ever seen.
From an outage standpoint?
Not from an outage standpoint, just to the fact that there were so many downed trees.
Oh.
Like in my street, you couldn't even get down the street.
So if you go down Byberry Road to get on Woodhaven to get on 95, there's that, I think it's Evans Street that you make the left-hand turn on to get on to Woodhaven. There has been a tree down there since last week, and it's still down. It's right in the middle of the street. It's still down. And it's still detoured. Like, what are they waiting for? Get a tree company out there and remove the damn thing. It's not that hard. You can do it in 2 hours.
Slocker's going to get a chainsaw and just...
I'm going to do it myself. My neighbor owns a tree company. He's willing to go down there and do it. Nobody's calling him back. It's unbelievable.
Remove
the damn tree.
We've never been less prepared in society.
It's just ridiculous.
In areas where we should just be completely buttoned up. We've only been doing this since the beginning of time.
GQ007 says Gen Z works at Peco now. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We're not prepared.
Let me get to my. Let me reach out to my boss.
I don't know.
Well,
Remember,
Larry,
I can call you back
Anastasia, he says thousands of families have been sweating it out without power for days in extreme heat. They're still waiting. And he said these ongoing delays in power restoration are a result of serious systemic problems with Peco storm response and communication. That's his statement.
Oh, my God.
Fire them.
So
Firing squad.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now, I will say Peco is saying that's really not true, that they have responded, that
Fake
this
news.
was one of the worst storms they've ever seen.
Then why are people still without power a week later? It's like it wasn't a hurricane. It wasn't a tornado. I know it was a bad storm. We all realize that.
Yeah.
There's still down trees everywhere.
Poll question, Phil. What's worse, Peco or CNN? I need that up immediately.
And by the way, as far as the extreme heat, so now we're seeing that it's going to cause SEPTA and public transportation delays. That's going on. We also have word from Conshohocken, and this is the Conshohocken Police Department, a camera, because we do have these cameras that read license plates, I guess, for running a red light or speed cameras, that sort of thing. But when they read I guess they run your plate when they read will read it. So apparently what happened was the reader told them that there was a stolen vehicle passing through Conchi. So it led to a traffic stop at Oak Street, Robinson Alley. 2 people in the car. They fled on foot, and this led to a 2-hour search for these 2 accused thieves by a canine unit from the Lower Marion Township Police Department, as well as they're using drones now. So they used a drone from the Conshohocken Fire Department. So a lot of technology being used to solve these crimes. They got the 2 suspects, they say, 28-year-old Jamal Wright and 25-year-old Saquon Seaborn, both of Philadelphia.
Oh, we've got 2 Saquons in Philly.
Wow. And so they got the stolen vehicle, they say, and these 2 suspects also had 2 handguns. They were charged with all kinds of felonies and bail set.
Is there a description of the suspects?
No, sir. That's all I'm saying.
Just asking for a friend.
I know. So we have that going on.
What were the names again?
Stop.
No,
I'm
I'm asking. Since we have to guess, maybe we can profile.
I'm not going to profile.
Okay.
You heard their names.
I will.
So, and we also, obviously, we've been covering the justice for Sergeant Christopher Fitzgerald, the officer who many call it an execution here in Philadelphia. And so the officer who, posthumously was promoted to sergeant. And so that trial continues.
Another reason the families behind the Badge Children's Foundation are coming in today at 9:30. Because, we need support for Marissa Fitzgerald in this time.
Yes. Stephanie Mack sent me a text yesterday saying that she expects, let me just read this, Marissa's trial should be concluding tomorrow. So that would be today. And there should be a call by Wednesday night or Thursday morning. And then she asked how Greg's training is going. I said I can't speak on behalf of Greg.
Yeah.
I said, text Greg, what do I look like? Why does everybody come to me for the answers? Why you go direct? I'm not a middleman.
Yeah, you don't have any answers.
You're not the official spokesperson for brand manager boss Greg Stocker.
Yeah, what am I? His Caroline Levitt?
You wish you had that hair.
I wish I had a lot of things that Caroline Levitt had.
Her billionaire husband.
I'll take that too.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, as Nick headlined right off the top, this is a lot of social media response. This went viral last night as Zohran Mamdani took the lead in the heated primary, the mayoral primary last night for Democrats. A stunning upset over former Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Do you want to hear him concede?
Who, Cuomo?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is brutal.
Put forth, and I'm proud of the issues that we discussed. But tonight was not our night. Tonight was Assemblyman Mamdani's night, and he put together a great campaign, and he touched young people and inspired them and moved them and got them to come out and vote. And he really ran a highly impactful campaign. I called him. I congratulated him. I applaud him, sincerely for his effort. And let's give him a round of applause. And
he hates
thank
this.
him for his campaign.
Oh, he hates this.
Not only did he get upset, he was upset by Mamdani. He got smoked by Mamdani. I mean, you could say that this is the equivalent on a city level, like Trump upsetting Hillary Clinton and shocking the establishment. Because that guy right there, that scumbag, represents the establishment. And the outsider came in and whipped his you-know-what. Say what you want about Mamdani, but he came in there and crushed the establishment.
I have to say this. This is a huge blow to the Cuomo ego.
Yeah.
So when does Andrew launch a podcast or join his brother on News Nation?
Yeah, he's done. He's absolutely done.
Yeah.
So he's allegedly reviewing everything.
Yeah.
Whether
Options.
he'll just trying to review the options.
Write a book.
But already the Democrats are everybody's begging for him not to do anything. But then also there are some begging for the current, the incumbent mayor to not run as that independent because will he split the vote? Mm-hmm. So that's a problem too.
It's unbelievable.
Somewhere AOC's like, maybe I can pull off the unthinkable in 3 years. That's going through her mind.
New York is your problem.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good luck with that.
Horrible city anyway.
Yep.
So trending, if you look at last night, what was trending and early this morning, hashtag RIP NYC.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine being a Jets fan and having a socialist mayor?
You know what's
Phil.
Poor Phil. But you know what's interesting is that he does not get they say he would be the first. He has, East India, heritage, what have you. His mom, by the way, worked for as a biggity big for Disney. And so you played that rap music that he did, the rap song and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But the thing about, all of this with Mamdani, he does not get the black vote. He does not get the so-called black and brown vote. They're not voting for him. They don't want these socialist type policies. Mm-hmm. It's the white, wealthy people.
Correct. Yes. A lot of people flee these third world nations. 10, 15 million people leaving socialist nations for the dreams of capitalism. Then they get to the what is supposed to be the defining definition of capitalism in America. New York City, the sky's the limit where dreams come true. And now you've got a socialist there.
And then also they've said he obviously did not get the Jewish vote.
No.
So
I would hope not.
So in that one. So continuing with the NYC mayor, speaking of which, you sent us the picture of our governor on Philadelphia Magazine. Mm-hmm. Will he be the next president?
Yeah, propaganda machine. Here we go.
In a black and white photo.
I'll say this. I mean, there's a better chance of Shapiro being the president of the United States than a socialist being a president.
Well, never say never.
That's right. Mamdani proved it.
Isn't that crazy?
That's right.
So we also have this story, and I'll just headline it for you, that CNN is breathlessly reporting at exclusive that they have sources, and this is a highly classified report that CNN claims has been leaked, that these U.S. military strikes, Operation Midnight Hammer, on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities last weekend did not, in fact, destroy the core components of the country's nuclear program and likely only set it back for just a few months. That is the headline that everybody's quoting this morning now that CNN reported it breathlessly and exclusively.
So CNN says just a couple of months. Trump says decades. Cool.
Caroline Levitt said basically fake news. It was a low-level source or something to that level. She's sounding more and more like Trump every day.
Mm-hmm. Shocking.
So we have all of that going on, Greg. All of that going on. And yes, in the forecast, as we'll talk about that momentarily with Nick, because there is a cool-off. You can keep hope alive after tonight with some storms in store. But we are sponsored this morning by First Bank. Ready to drive your business's success with a trusted local partner? You can count on First Bank for personalized support, smart solutions to help your business grow. First Bank, your trusted local partner for success. Visit myfirstbank.com. You can learn more there. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Thank you, First Bank, for sponsoring our very first edition this morning of Kayal and Company News Live. And unfortunately, our Phil's frustrating many of you. Phillies in Houston tonight again, 1-0 loss in the opener.
They had a power outage last night as well with their bats. You bet the under, you're a winner. Boom. All right, Philly weather, it is 82 degrees, going up to about 97 today. The cool down is
cool off.
Yeah, and then the
Nice.
cool off. The big one comes this evening.
Did we actually hit 100 yesterday?
They claimed that we did.
My truck.
Don't go by your truck.
I know, but after I started it, pulled out of the parking lot, and was driving for about 5 minutes, I was at 101.
Okay.
It was at 106 initially, and then it dips down a little bit. 101 in Bluebell.
Okay.
Some of the, I know some of the local meteorologists said it hit 100.
Yeah.
In the city.
Yep. Going up to 97 today. Storms this evening. That should cool it off and break it down a little bit. We'll be in the high 80s tomorrow and then the mid 80s for the weekend with some relatively clear skies. Philly weather brought to you by MTRule.com, your Generac generator experts. That's MTRUHL.com. The big take is coming up next here on a Wednesday on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Lainey Alexander, and this is my husband, Paul Alexander, and we've been with Crash Proof Retirement since 2019.
Let's say you have $1 million. Would you be willing to lose 10%, $100,000? I wouldn't. If you made 4% on $1 million, you now have $1,040,000. I'm comfortable with guaranteed 4%.
And it's a no-brainer. Why would you not want at least 4%, or even knowing that your $1 million is
still $1 million.
Yes.
Crash Proof Retirement lets us live our life and have fun.
We're able to take a vacation and spend the money the way we want it and not deplete our income. Crash Proof Retirement has been wonderful for us this year, and we're comfortable. We're fine. I have no concerns.
If she says I'm fine, I'm fine.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, July 22nd, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
It's time to cut your old point of sale system and revolutionize your business with PDQ POS. Joe Flynn and his team at PDQ have been the industry leader for over 35 years. They offer everything from mobile POS to self-service kiosks and the best service and support in the industry. For the fastest, easiest, and most reliable POS available, trust PDQ POS. No matter how many locations you have, they'll build a custom solution for your business. Visit pdqpos.com.
It's the perfect time to get inside a new Toyota at Tri-County Toyota. Right now, you can get great financing options on a new 2024 Tacoma, like 1.99% for 48 months, or 2.99% for 72 months. Or check out a new 2025 Camry and get 4.99% financing for 60 months, or 5.99% for 72 months, or lease for $299 a month. And you get Tri-County for life with the purchase of every new or used vehicle. Visit us online at TriCountyToyota.com to see more.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get leaf filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/radio. That's leaffilter.com/radio.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992. When you call, you'll get free information. Free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992 today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Yo, Doylestown. We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
Oh, yeah, Peter McKee and Highlight Electric with the playlist all week long. If you want to commandeer the music from Stocker for a full week, just toss up a generous donation. Peter did that for Travis Manion Foundation. I believe you could do that for Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. God knows we need about 10 grand in the next 3 weeks. You want to play the tunes? Hit up Stocker. It's Kayal and Company as we continue live here on this Wednesday morning. Bruno, just over an hour and 15 minutes from now. Fight Club, movie tickets, and Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation will be with us in studio in about 3 hours. But before all of that, including some other great stories out there, let's get to a midweek Big Take.
The Big Take on Kayal and Company.
Brought to you by Bucks County Estate Traders. Same stale song and dance. Here we go again. You know, it's official. A leopard never really changes its spots. It's true. The Democrat Party has proven it. Once the party of liberals, which was taken over and hijacked by the progressives, they did their best yesterday to showcase their wing of socialists, young and old, only to prove that it's more of the same. From AOC and Al Green to Jasmine Crockett and Bernie Sanders, all of this while New York City has Democrat primaries playing out between a socialist and the worst governor during the COVID-19 pandemic. And then, of course, impeachment efforts failing and indisputable data on Trump's strikes on Iran winning. Trotting out your party's fossil on the largest podcast on the planet as he's mumbling and bumbling and stumbling. The Democrats now are the Jersey Shore of reality shows. It's an unmitigated disaster that somehow keeps getting renewed because people love a good train wreck, apparently. Headline yesterday, 128 Democrats joined the House GOP to block progressives' bid to impeach Donald Trump. Quote, dozens of Democrats joined Republicans to kill the measure by Rep. Al Green. Here was the Houston race hustler in Congress yesterday. Listen and watch.
At this moment in time, I have filed HRES 537. HRES 537 is a privileged resolution. HRES 537 has been filed because I believe that the President of the United States has committed an impeachable act.
Hey, Al, your own party told you to shove HRES 537 straight up your butt. Only 79 Democrats in total voted to impeach Donald Trump for his strikes on Iran and other ridiculous things. 128 Democrats said, no thank you, Mr. Green. The total vote, 344 no, 79 yes. Trump would go on to blast AOC yesterday on Truth Social saying, quote, Stupid AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, one of the dumbest people in Congress, is now calling for my impeachment, despite the fact that the crooked and corrupt Democrats have already done that twice before. She and the Democrats have just hit the lowest poll numbers in congressional history. So go ahead and try impeaching me again. Make my day, end quote. Trump would also go on to hammer her over Biden's decline, the auto pen cover-up, and even challenge her to a cognitive exam, followed by telling her to go home and clean up her Queens, New York district that is a complete and total sloppy mess. But from one rocket scientist to another space cadet, we go back to Texas, where Al Green is from, only to hear what Jasmine Crockett is still ranting and raving about. And she is still big mad, as the kids used to say, or maybe it's crashing out. I haven't kept up with the terminology, but the wannabe Democrat vocal mouthpiece is still beside herself over not being approached and consulted by Trump before striking Iran. Listen and watch this.
And to understand enough about the Constitution to the extent that I'm the one that's supposed to make a decision or at least get a vote.
Nah, you didn't get a vote. You'll hear from Alan Dershowitz coming up in just a few minutes. I wouldn't consult her on a strike amongst baristas and the union members of a local Starbucks, much less her thoughts on Iran and their nuclear capabilities. Why? Because Americans back Trump on this decision. Republicans back Trump on this decision. Democrats back Trump on this decision. Here was CNN's Harry Enton yesterday with the freshest set of numbers. Listen and watch.
Yeah, I think there's this idea, okay, maybe the MAGA base wouldn't necessarily like this. Look, this is Donald Trump's Republican Party. That's what I think is so important to note. GOP on the U.S. airstrikes in Iran, 76% in the average of the two polls approve, compared to just 18% who disapprove. Now, I will note that is a bit higher than Donald Trump's disapproval rating within the Republican Party. But overall, Republicans are with Donald Trump on this. Tucker Carlson be darned. The bottom line is he does not speak for the majority of the Republican base. The majority of the Republican base is with Donald Trump.
It is not my job to advise the Democrat Party, but I'll offer some advice because I'm a swell human being. Quit wasting your time on impeachments. Focus on your candidate pool, your policies, your messaging, and how to deliver it in the social media age. It's so simple. Yet here you are still scrambling like a quarterback who hasn't learned how to scan the field from the pocket. Axios did a deep dive on how Trump dominated the digital media era last fall with Gen Z. Headline, Into the MAGAverse, what the algorithm feeds Gen Z. Axios wrote the following, quote, if you paid attention to MAGA media in the months leading up to the 2024 election, the surprise wasn't that young voters swung hard toward President Trump. The surprise was that so many people missed it. They continue, seemingly overnight, MAGA took full command of a full-fledged socialist ecosystem that met young Americans where they already are. It was a cultural and political revolution hiding in plain sight, yet it blindsided the Democratic establishment, which is still scrambling to understand how it happened and how to fight back. Later in this column from Axios, they say how they sent out two reporters, Erica Pandy and Tal Axelrod, out to experience the MAGAverse online in real time. They created new TikTok accounts. They followed accounts like Trump, Tucker Carlson, Charlie Kirk, and others. And they were immediately hit with clips from Trump rallies, sound bites from the Daily Wire, and segments from Fox News. And it took less than an hour to have the algorithm move from MAGA to red pill rants about gender roles and identity politics. It then shifted to UFC videos and mixed martial arts content, football, beer, and hot women, as well as much more. It's a pretty amazing read on the Axios website if you want to check it out. And obviously the Democrats, they still haven't learned. So who did they decide to trot out on the latest episode of the Joe Rogan podcast? Was it Andy Beshear from Kentucky? How about Wes Moore? Yeah, Wes Moore from Maryland. No, Bernie Sanders. The 83-year-old oligarch yelling fossil on the Joe Rogan show. And right on cue, he had a moment where he sounded and was acting just like the fossil Joe Biden. Listen and watch this.
Are you going to run for president again?
I am 83 years of age.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure the American people will be enthusiastic on somebody's 108.
You're still very with it.
Thank you.
You are.
Well,
I mean, you're a couple years older than Biden.
Yeah.
Right? Think of that.
Yeah.
You could be off a lot worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
a great advertisement to the 18 to 34-year-old demo right there. Much like in New York City, where the results are in. As 6 hours ago, Andrew Cuomo conceded to Zohran Mamdani, a man who reportedly has shown affection towards Hamas and city-owned grocery stores. And this is a guy where he is going to emerge from the Democrat primary and almost be a mathematical certainty to beat a Republican in Curtis Sliwa, and certainly will be the next mayor of the Big Apple. So my takeaway, simple. Does a socialist have a chance to take power in 28? Is socialist politics going to seep further into the American political spectrum in 2026? It's possible. Anything is possible. But we have to sit back and wait and see. And that's the big take.
The Big Take on Kayal and Company.
Which is brought to you by Bucks County Estate Traders, where you can save on stunning high-quality furniture during the incredible 4th of July sale. Bucks County Estate Traders save 20 to 50% on select items store-wide. Visit their showroom in Hatfield or buckscountyestatetraders.com. The sale begins on Monday, and they are now open with extended hours as well as Sundays. 855-839-1210, the number. All right, so I want to just go a little bit deeper here. I know it's not our city, but it is the biggest city in the United States. It's the city that I believe gets way too much attention from the media. It always drives me insane. But I want to talk a little bit about the last part there of the big take, which is what we talked a little bit about here in the news this morning. So let me get your thoughts, Dawn. I mean, I know your husband covers this far more extensively than we do. Do you think with what happened last night in the wee hours, I guess technically, of Wednesday morning, is this a spoiler alert moving forward in 2026 as well as 2028? Is this a, hey, let's just keep an eye on this? Is this a complete one-off because of the other candidates that were out there? What do we make of this right now? What does this mean big picture beyond the Big Apple?
Well, I think first and foremost, if you look at Zohran Mamdani, and by the way, Cuomo kept saying Mondani, like M-O-N, and that, I guess that triggered people, and especially the candidate, because he would say, my name's pronounced like M-A-M, Donnie. So they would go back and forth at it. But I think part of this is that it's the capturing of social media. And Mamdani was very, he's a young glib guy, mom, Disney, media. And so I think that he's somebody who used social media in a powerful way. You can really reach directly to, much like Trump reached to younger voters using social media, making those videos, bypassing the so-called mainstream media. And so I think that's part of the appeal. But as well, I think that these, we think about New York City, Manhattan, the ultra wealthy people, and maybe they'll get what they, I hate to say it, but they'll get what they deserve. I mean, this guy really wants to bring socialism. That he's a socialist.
He wants to tax these super wealthy people, these big time corporations. How can anybody in their right mind in New York City that falls into either of those categories vote for this guy, right? They're voting to shorten their bank account.
I mean, it's crazy. And the problem is here's the thing. The people who are not voting for him are the working class people, African Americans, anybody who is a first generation that, like you said earlier, that came from a socialist background. But like I say, the so-called black and brown communities, they don't care for him at all, which is why they may very well vote as Democrats for the incumbent mayor, right? Mayor Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to split the vote. Then you have the Jewish vote. Would somebody like Curtis Sliwa, the Republican, would he get it?
Yeah. Axios wrote this little preview of the primary yesterday prior to the results coming in, and they said New Yorkers face a choice today: a 67-year-old scandal-stained insider or a 33-year-old Democratic socialist scorned by the city's elite. At its core, and this is really kind of the question I'm posing to the audience and everybody listening this morning, they say at its core, the race can be boiled down to old guard moderates running against younger, energetic candidates with ambitious, often expensive ideas. It's the same dynamic that will likely, and this is Axios, this is not my opinion, it's the same dynamic that will likely play out across the country over the next few years. Also at stake is how the city and the party fight back against President Trump and his MAGA alliance, which New York Democrats desperately want to oppose. They go on to write, which I agree with, a win by Mamdani is a major blow to the establishment, which it is. Now, here's a couple of his other ridiculous ideas. He's talked about city-run grocery stores, which I don't think really almost anybody would want, free buses, pitched rent freezes, all funded by $10 billion in new taxes on corporations and the wealthy. They go on to wrap up by saying the Bernie Sanders echoes are unmistakable. He's a 50-year younger Islamic Bernie Sanders, and that's what New York City is apparently going to go for. Staggering.
Nick, I think that Zoran for New York City mayor makes Bernie look like a moderate conservative.
I think you might be right.
Is so far left as far as what he wants. And so think about what's going to happen. He's going to tax the rich, tax the companies. What are they going to do? They're going to move out.
Yeah. He's going to drive more. He's going to drive more business out of the Big Apple.
Bye-bye. They lost population. They lost a ton of population, as we know, during the pandemic. Then they gained some back. But now he's going to drive all these people out. And then the very people who did not vote for him, right? They're the ones who are going to be stuck with him and his socialist policies.
Yeah, there you go. If you guys have thoughts, 855-839-1210. I still think it is far more likely moving down, 3 years from now, 3.5 years from now, 10 years from now. Still more likely, I believe personally, in this country that we will have a female president. We will have a third party before we have a socialist president. I kind of teased earlier, boy, AOC must be salivating, thinking, boy, now's the time to strike. If I'm ever going to pull this off, and I do believe she wants to run for president one day, well, if Mamdani can do it in New York, I can do it on the big stage. Look, Kamala Harris, when she floated out that price cap ridiculous nonsense, back in the late summer, early fall, and we referenced all the historical times of when other nations have tried this and how it led to hyperinflation. I can't envision a scenario where a socialist is the president of the United States. I just can't. It might fly in New York. It might fly in Los Angeles or San Francisco or Seattle, some of these progressive hotspots, if you will. But becoming the next president of the United States, I do not see it. I think it's far more likely that Josh Shapiro would end up being the president before a socialist would. 855-839-1210. Coming up next, ICE busts 11 illegal Iranian nationals that have ties to Hezbollah and terrorism, as we round back to the big story over the last week and a half in this country and across the planet. It's Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Let's talk about your home, specifically your kitchen, because at Kitchen Magic, I can tell you they are transforming kitchens since 1979. 1979, proudly American-made, family-owned, and 100% tariff-proof. What does that mean? It means no international delays, no surprise fees. This month only, you got to do this. Take advantage of their 24-month same-as-cash financing. It is time to love your kitchen again. Visit them, kitchenmagic.com. They're local employer, kitchenmagic.com. Call 1-800-237-0799. That's 800-237-0799. Kitchen Magic, quality that's closer to home. kitchenmagic.com. What are you waiting for? Tell them Dawn sent you.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Add some star-spangled style to your summer with Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale going on now. Shop Hot Buys for every room in your home, now just $6.99. Plus, you can save up to $1,000 store-wide. And don't miss upgrading your patio. Save up to 20% on select outdoor furniture. Or feel the freedom to buy now and pay over time with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is Jonathan Cans, third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Have you recently had an HVAC company out for a $59 AC tune-up, and the service tech tells you there are 3 other things that need to be fixed that would cost you hundreds, if not more, dollars? That's because these clowns are really salesmen, not service techs. At Marvin E. Cans, we can't tune up your system for only $59, but we will tune it up for a fair price, and that's all we'll do. If you want an honest HVAC company, then contact us at marvinekanze.com.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. I want to tell you about my friend and my dentist, Dr. Mike Veneria. You know, for me, for my family, it's all about care. That's what matters most, and that's why my entire family goes to Dr. Mike Veneria. When it comes to a complicated dental procedure, for over 10 years in a row, Dr. Mike has been recognized as a master of complex, masterful dentistry. In fact, other dentists send their patients to him. Even other doctors have chosen Dr. Mike as their dentist. See, it's not about cost, it's about care. And you don't want to go to those chain dental offices, forget those. He has 2 very convenient locations for you in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. So go there and see him. He's the guy, and he's worth the drive no matter where you're coming from, because you don't want to go to the closest dentist. You want to go to the best dentist, the guy who cares. That's Dr. Mike Veneria, the best of the best. So make your appointment to see Dr. Mike today. If you already got an estimate for that dental implant, get a second opinion from Dr. Mike. It's worth doing. Just reach out to him at 856-786-2020 or veneriadental.com, VANARIA, veneriadental.com.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Scaling Company, 651. As we wind down hour #1 here on a Wednesday, Bruno, the cut sheet, 7:45. Dawn will have some news to kick off the second hour. And also, just an incredible story. I couldn't believe this was real. An amazing story on AI. So amazing that if you thought the CBS News story that we gave you on the cut sheet last Friday was amazing, about a man who fell in love with Alexa, wait until you hear this wild story from Rolling Stone about a dude, ChatGPT, and how it ended in a police tragedy. This needs to be clipped later today, by the way. This is just now there's no video, there's no audio. I'm just going to have to read you the story. Maybe there's a video out there from a newscast. Maybe we could find it. But this is unbelievable.
We are a sick society.
We really are. 855-839-1210, the number.
I mean mentally sick. We are all mentally ill.
And physically. We're all fat and mentally ill.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Myself included. I've put on 18 pounds in 3 years, and I must be insane to get up at 4 in the morning and come in here and do this every day.
What exactly are you doing? Because from what I hear, you're you eat very well.
Yeah.
I know you exercise.
It's shift work, you guys. It's, it's shift work. It's proven.
Bill from the B Morning Show has lost 13 pounds since he shifted to the afternoon show.
What the hell are we doing then?
Zioli looks better doing afternoons.
Oh, that's a good point. Even though I hate to admit it.
Yes.
As far as shift work, anybody, and right now, think about who's listening. Think about all the truckers. You know what I mean? You're on the roads overnight or 2 a.m, and we're not meant to do that. So it's against our biology, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, because we're supposed to be operating from sunrise to sundown.
Yes.
And that's when we're supposed to eat. That's when we're supposed to do our thing. And then when it gets dark, we're supposed to sleep.
Well said. I agree. She nailed it. Boom.
So why
video didn't kill the radio star? Bad habits did.
So why can't you lose weight?
I don't know.
Let's get back to that.
The boss yesterday said to me that it's when you turn 40, it just becomes almost impossible.
Yeah, I heard him say that. It doesn't become impossible. Like you can lose weight. You can.
Should I go on the shot for 6 weeks?
No.
Stop. You could get it sponsored.
Wait, hang on.
I'll take the shot for money.
Hang on. To lose 15 pounds, you're going to take the shot?
Hey, look.
That's just laziness.
You're right. It is.
Don't call him lazy.
No, it is. It is lazy.
Really
I'm not
hard
lazy, but
it
would be lazy to do that.
If you had to lose 70 pounds, I would say yes, absolutely.
If you're pre-diabetic.
If you're going to lose 15 pounds, bro, like just cut out a meal.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Stop eating bread.
You don't want to cut out a meal.
That's a culprit. The bread.
The bread.
Yeah.
It's the process. It's the processed junk.
Yeah. You think you're having a nice turkey sandwich with avocado for lunch one day. Next thing you know, you realize it's the bread still.
Yeah.
It's always the bread, stupid.
Yeah. And it's the turkey, too. Oh, it's turkey until you realize it's processed stuff from the deli, which is loaded up with all sorts of crap.
And what they're learning, because they all told us, don't eat fat, eat low fat, and all this stuff. It was all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're meant as like carnivores, or, I mean, even if you don't eat meats, we're supposed to eat our body weight in protein. So
is that right?
Yeah. So if you weigh 175,
don't listen to Dawn. She gets her medical advice from Twitter.
I do not.
Does Dawn look like she's unhealthy?
True.
No, she doesn't.
It's not
so
true.
I'm going to follow her.
And that's what that's what the coaches tell the football players, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look how skinny David is.
I'm going to be like...
David is 18. We were all skinny at 18. Stop with that. Look how skinny he is. He's 18. If David was fat at 18, then there would be a problem.
Well, this was my weight my senior year of high school for football. I was like 215.
But it was muscle.
I had a little bit of a belly. I've always had a little bit of a belly. I ate 7 ice cream sandwiches in the summer of '92, and I woke up with a pot belly the next morning. It was wild.
You look great. You don't need to lose the weight, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just think you don't ever want to skip meals. You want to actually increase the meals, but just do like hard-boiled eggs or the pure protein.
I'm just going to do what Tom Hanks did on Castaway when he was on that island. Just start eating raw fish.
Josh on the YouTube chat says, I listen to Kayal and Company every morning at the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we would love to be at the gym with you,
Yeah.
Josh.
But no, I've got to talk about 11 Iranian nationals that are in the country.
We should do that next.
Which we were going to do here, but we got sidetracked. So we'll do that next as a little bit of a news hit. And then I'm going to get to this Rolling Stone story. This is just unbelievable. Bruno, the cut sheet, all the goodies still on the way. Kayal and Company, Hour 2 is next.
When someone's AC is on the fritz or drains are just not draining at all, like at all, Horizon Services never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Horizon will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at horizonservices.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you text RADIO to 64,000. That's RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Rob Ellis. Excited to be hosting Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra on Ocean City's Boardwalk. It's music, it's comedy, it's all the ups and downs of the Philadelphia sports fans. We've all lived it, and Joe and the City Rhythm Orchestra takes you through it like nobody else.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra in Wildwood, July 11th, and with Rob Ellis at the Ocean City Music Fair, Saturday, July 12th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Do you think that banking is boring? At PNC, we know that meeting the banking needs of the community is anything but boring. That's why PNC Bank geared up this year and introduced the mobile branch across the region to bring banking services to underserved neighborhoods. And long before that, PNC Community Development Banking was leading the way in investing in the economic health of our neighborhoods. To see the brilliant results that boring banking can deliver for you, stop into any PNC branch right here in the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Do it today at 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
Scaling Company, 7:01, hour number 2. As we continue on this Wednesday morning, Peter McKeon, Highlight Electric, commandeering the playlist for charity. Great work out of Peter. 855-839-1210, although I was just told by Jimmy Kelly that our phone systems, actually the entire company's phones right now throughout the building are down. KYW, WIP, us.
You're supposed to do talk shows.
Wait,
here.
is this one of those cyber
Hang on.
attacks?
Yeah, it's Iran. Hang on.
Try calling yourself.
I'm going to.
Let's see. Here we go.
Let's listen.
Hang on, listen to this.
See, here's pot of the sound. Can Greg dial himself?
Yeah,
Nope.
Yeah, it doesn't go out.
It's down. It's down.
Bro.
We started off with no YouTube. Now the phones are down. I mean, we'll survive.
Since you've been gone.
We're entertaining.
Since you've been gone.
We actually really don't need a ton of phone calls.
And the phones are gone.
Some shows, some stations live and breathe phone calls. Others can entertain without
No.
the calls.
No.
That's why we have the YouTube chat.
Not working.
That's why we have X. One day they'll figure it out.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Thank you,
It's
Mr. President.
It's unbelievable.
Well, we'll get Bruno in here at 7:45 because he joins us via Zoom. Also, we will give you the Iranian nationals. I've got names. I've got unbelievable affiliations with terror. This was my fear. This was my concern. They were already here. I'm praying to God, as I think many of you are, that these cells do not get activated in the United States. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. But let's get to the news. Yeah, it is. Round number 2, 7:03, the great Dawn Stensland.
Good morning, Kayal and Company News Live. This 7 a.m. hour, sponsored by Wisfis Bank, WSFS Bank. Sponsors our news as we move forward on a day that, yes, we'll feel the heat, but we could have some severe pop-up storms, not as much like last week as far as near hurricane winds, but we could see some pop-up storms, so stay tuned for the deets in the forecast with Nick coming right up. We this morning, as we wake up, we learn that a mother, Andrea Lozano Alanis, in our region has been released from an ICE detention center. This is in central Pennsylvania and was just released last night, according to immigration advocates. And so criminal charges dismissed against her. They're calling her an undocumented woman at the center of the case that drew a lot of protesters. And we've been hearing about this from advocates over Montgomery County's cooperation with ICE at the local prison there. So this has to do with sanctuary city status and the Trump administration. We've heard officials say, you know, if you don't cooperate with ICE, they could withhold funds, or that back and forth that we've heard a lot about. Officials in Montgomery County then dropped their policy of jailing any illegals wanted by ICE for up to 4 hours after their bail had already been paid, basically not cooperating. So it was the criminal charges involving a June 3rd car ramming incident. This happened in East Norriton, and this resulted in 31-year-old Andrea Lozano Alanis of Norristown, that she had been held at the Montgomery County Correctional Facility. She was kept there even after her $77 bail had been posted, and then under the then county policy. Okay, so now they've changed. They're not going to hold for ICE anymore.
So she received bail for $77 for ramming another car? Is that what the crime she's charged with?
Yes. So she received the criminal charges in this, and so they arrested her. I will say, in Philadelphia, you're lucky, to be honest, with the defund the police. After defund the police, you're lucky if you can get a police officer to come to, unless it's like serious injuries in the accident. So, but this is Montgomery County,
great,
where they have law enforcement who are going to show up and follow the law.
Notice how I am moving further north up 202 as I ascend in life. Don't go south on 202 towards Norristown. Go north.
So the immigration, they say they're immigration advocates. They're advocating for individuals who are here illegally. But Lozana Alanis, she was freed from ICE last night, and they paid her $5,000 immigration bond with money raised via a GoFundMe.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And so she was being held at the Moshannon Valley Processing Center that's in Clearfield County. And so those advocates now describe her as very happy, excited to be able to see her son. And so we have this word. I don't know about when will she have to return. She was initially jailed at Montgomery County after the incident. She's accused of ramming her car into the car of her romantic partner outside
so she was
a bank.
Oh, cool.
So it was an alleged road rage kind of situation.
Well, she's lucky she didn't end up like the guy at the drive-thru in California that we played on the cut sheet. Right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So she also had been charged with child endangerment because at the time where she, I have to say, allegedly rammed the vehicle, it happened right outside of a bank, which we know that banks have extra security cameras. So perhaps we can as the court's proceedings happen, we can, that'll be publicly released as far as the video. But her 6-year-old son, according to police, was inside her vehicle at the time. And so she was also accused at the scene of recklessly endangering another person, careless and reckless driving without a license. And so they're celebrating the fact that she was freed. And so they said that this administration cannot violate people's rights, and the Trump administration ignores the Constitution and kidnaps.
Kidnaps
people.
Come here illegally, don't have a license, commit road rage, ram
Allegedly.
people, get out of jail for $77. Be a hero of Norristown.
So just last week, and I reported this, Montgomery County, they officially barred employees from providing any information to ICE, to those federal, law enforcement officers. And they've been told to withhold any data such as immigration status or country of origin unless directed to do so by their boss, by their superiors. County employees in Montgomery County, they're not deputized federal immigration agents. That is the policy according to the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners meeting in Norristown, which is, as you know, majority Democrat.
So if Stalker was to ask for a description, you cannot provide us a description in your newscast then?
No. And so the only way that I know is if I will call on some of these cases and say, do you have the information? So I might get somebody off the record, or on background if I don't name them. But in this case, somebody could be fired if they even talk to a reporter or anybody to release such information about an arrested or accused suspect.
What a time to be alive.
So to your point, I would say the only suggestion I would have is if they did pass some kind of a federal law by which all law enforcement had to keep records, who is a citizen, who is a non-citizen, and make it under some kind of a law that is to protect us from terrorism, where they could say, we need to know who's here illegally.
Right.
And because, did they come here illegally? And is there so we need to have their birth status.
Correct.
That's the only thing I can think of where it would have to be a federal law.
All right.
Right?
Yep.
All right. So other headlines, we've talked about this as far as what's going on with Peco, because we still have power outages. There were about 1/3 people left without power after those storms that struck last Thursday night. And Peco said yesterday they hope to have everybody back on. We still had, a little over 2,000 in Montco and Delco. Well, now at this point, it's a little over 1,000. So at the same point, the IBW, the local union representing Peco workers, we told you earlier, put out a statement and said this is Peco's problem, and blaming the fact that they have a real problem with dispatch and communication. So we have that headline as still 1,000 people in this heat wave still have no power, and also SEPTA reporting. SEPTA and Amtrak problems due to the high heat.
Communication, obviously self-explanatory, although it's really indefensible. But as far as dispatch, is that a staffing issue?
They just said dispatch communication problems. So was that a physical you know what I mean? Like almost like an air traffic control or a physicality to it? I don't know.
Because Peco employees are paid pretty well, right?
Yeah.
The ones that are out there doing the work to repair?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the union pays them well. I will say, generally speaking, I've been a Peco customer 25 years. Like, I think their customer service is excellent. So I think the allegation is when a storm like this hits, they have to hire contractors.
Oh.
Okay, non-union people.
There you go.
And those individuals are coming from other states, so they don't know the area.
Yep. And then the quality of the work goes down.
So that's, So they're non-union. They're not, so maybe they need some training or, something of that nature. I think that's where they're going with this.
Yep.
Other headlines, we talked about the upset election in New York City's primary last night. Zohran Mamdani, 33-year-old assemblyman, Democrat socialist, and he is the projected winner, a stunning win in the primary for the Democrats for New York City mayor, with the top challenger, Andrew Cuomo, conceding the race. And so this is making international headlines. And as far as politics go, Well, I'll take you to something that is historic, and this is the real king, Britain's king. This is King Charles inviting President Donald J. Trump, and I presume FLOTUS, Melania, for a state visit later this year, confirmed by the Palace, Buckingham Palace. And so Trump accepting the invitation from Charles for a second state visit. It, I guess, is upcoming in February, making the president the first elected political leader in modern times to be hosted by the king for 2 state visits by a British monarch.
Oh, now the media is going to run with stories like he's a king. He wants to be a king. What did you say? That's going to be February of next year?
So apparently it's February of next year, but we're not sure. They're projecting February, but yeah, we'll watch for that one. We have to talk about Sea City. Jason Kelsey, former Eagle, celebrity bartending at the Ocean Drive in Ocean City, New Jersey today for the 5th straight year to benefit the Eagles Autism Foundation.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
So a lot of excitement as he will be there. Doors open. This is 3 p.m. this afternoon, hosted by the Eagles Autism Foundation. And so it's exciting stuff, and they raise 6-figure dollar amounts for autism.
Yeah, I can live with Jason Kelsey being in my news cycle for all the good reasons. Enough of the commercials, though.
Need some good news.
He's doing a new commercial again. You talk about a guy who has just absolutely become the pitch man. Remember when Shaq retired? You saw him on Pepsi commercials and Reebok, and it just took off. I mean, Jason Kelsey, my God. I mean, he's everywhere now. You see him more than you see Travis. Which is interesting because I always thought Travis was the more marketable guy.
Well, speaking of Travis, since you mentioned him, Taylor Swift performed live for the first time since reclaiming her masters at a Nashville gig hosted by Travis Kelce. And so she was a 14-time, this is on page 6 in the New York. I was looking at the New York Post because the mayoral race. So because you mentioned, the brother who dates, the lesser brother who dates Taylor Swift, who I know your daughters love, and you've been dragged to 1 or 2 Taylor Swift events.
I had to see the Eras movie in the same theater that Phil went when it lost power last week.
That was the best. So it was a crowd of Shake It Off at a concert hosted by Travis Kelce. Nashville, Tennessee happened last night. I don't know if our own Sean Farish was there or not. I kind of doubt it. But
no, probably. I'm going to guess no.
Cool
Sean Farish more likely to be hanging out with Andy Ogles than the Kelceys and Swifts.
I love it. In Nashville. So Wisfis Bank, where there's a Wisfis, there's a way at WSFS Bank and Bryn Mawr Trust. Your goals really do matter. So discover local expertise with national capabilities, all with the personal service you deserve. WSFS, we stand for service. Thank you, Wisfis Bank, for sponsoring our news on this, hopefully cross your fingers, last hot day. But Nick, will these storms tonight possibly knock out power again?
Well, it's certainly going to cool things down. Dawn, it's 84 degrees, going up to 97 today. Big storms this evening. It's going to break the heat. We should see about a 10 to 12 degree fall off in the coming days. Philly weather brought to you by MTRule.com. Your Generac generator experts. That's MTRUHL.com. Kayal and Company News Live for round number 2 here on this Wednesday. Hey, real quick, big shout out. $50 donation just came in. Jane Ruth.
Jane!
So, Jane, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane.
Families behind the badge.
Woo!
So, here's the total, real quick.
All right.
We are at $5,129. $5,129.80. That is 34.2% of the $15K goal. By my math, with the Kayal and Company calculator, we still have $9,871 to go.
All right, people need to step up right now. And since we're going into a Families Behind the Badge ad, we might as well do this right now. I need everybody right now to go to gregsoccersucks.com. Please make a donation. Please. We give you hours and hours of entertainment. The money's not going to us. We're just a conduit. We're using the power of these airwaves to raise money for a great cause.
And God knows we have more than 9,871 listeners right now. So if everybody just donated a dollar right now,
thank you,
we would be there.
Thank you.
Think about that.
Yes.
Just do what Greg says, $1, and we're there.
And also, Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation needs your vote. So the WawaFoundation.org Hero Award is up.
Yeah.
And Families Behind the Badge, they have a 1 in 4 chance if you vote for them to win this $50,000 Hero Award.
Wow.
So while you're on the site, just click on vote for them.
Yep. Think about what think about what Marissa Fitzgerald is going through right now.
Yep.
Right now, as we speak, what she's going through right now. All this money goes to people like her children. All of that money goes. We don't see a red cent. All of it goes to them. So please, Nick's right. We just need 9,000 listeners to donate $1.
There you go. It's that simple. GregStockerSucks.com or the official website, ben2shore.org. That's ben2shore.org. You can donate. If you want to ride with us, use the promo code NICK1210. They will take $25 off your registration fee. Come on, people. Let's go. 9,871 of you out there, $1 a piece. We're there by 7:30. Back after this.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. Check out the Honda Civic, Accord, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.99% APR on a 2025 Civic or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or HR-V.
Visit Piazza Honda in Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, and Springfield.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
Does it seem like allergy season is always here? If you suffer, it sure does. Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical team at Innovative Medical Associates can offer several remedies, especially if you're an allergy sufferer. Through the use of her unique hydration therapy protocols, Dr. Molly has helped many deal with the day-to-day frustrations in what seems like a forever allergy season. And then there are environmental issues. Many times, after going to medical professionals in several states, people have come to find relief thanks to Dr. Molly Fantasia and her medical staff, and we all know that there are many issues out there in the world. For more information, contact Innovative Medical Associates at 856-489-0505. That's 856-489-0505. Or visit Innovative Medical Associates on their website, innovativemedicalassociates.com. And don't forget to listen to Dr. Molly Fantasia on the program Health Watch, heard every Sunday live from 8 to 9 a.m. and again from 4 to 5 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Do you know about the true crimes that inspired a Bruce Springsteen album? Or the murders AC/DC was blamed for? How about Taylor Swift's Violent Stalkers? Or the suspicious deaths of Brittany Murphy and River Phoenix? These stories and more are told in the Disgraceland podcast, hosted by me, Jake Brennan, every Tuesday, where I dive deep into subjects from the dark side of music history and entertainment. So follow and listen to Disgraceland on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Hey, it's Joe to Camera. See, the story of Philly sports put to music. With Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra, I've seen the show. It's phenomenal. Conklin with all of his voices and songs, plus celebrity guests. It's sports. It's comedy. It's music. It's Philly.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood High School on Baker Ave, Friday, July 11th. And at the Ocean City Music Pier, Saturday, July 12th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
It's time to graduate into a new Hyundai with no increase in your monthly payment at Colonial Hyundai. That's right. only at Colonial. Graduate into new technology, styling, and better gas mileage. And save big! For a limited time, save up to 20% off any brand new Hyundai in stock. That's a savings of up to $10,000 off. And even if your trade is less than an A+, we'll give you $6,500 for your trade, no matter the condition. Guaranteed. Only at Colonial Hyundai. It's the perfect time to move up to a new Hyundai and take advantage of the best financing in the business at Colonial Hyundai with rates as low as 0%. And every new 2025 Hyundai comes with 3-year complimentary maintenance and America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain, and Hyundai Assurance. Shop us online 24/7 at ColonialHyundai.com. Graduate into a new Hyundai at Colonial Hyundai. The fast, easy, better way to buy a Hyundai. In-stock vehicles only. Tax and tax additional. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for full details. Offer expires 6/30.
This is Jordan Lundy of Lundy Law. Every year, millions of people are hurt in car accidents. The numbers are overwhelming. But if you're injured in an accident, don't feel overwhelmed. Call Lundy Law. We'll remove the stress and work quickly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. We hope we never meet because of an accident, but if we do, we're here for you. Remember our name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com.
From Chester Springs to Clementon, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. WPHT.
Is this the longest intro in music?
Could be.
It might be.
Should I wait?
No.
Or should I come back? Kayal and Company,
It's
724.
30 seconds already in.
Wow.
There we go.
Yes.
36, 37, 38.
The greatest audience in radio is coming through.
Yeah.
We have updates, folks.
Uh-oh.
James Green.
James Green.
$10.
$10.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Chris Donahue.
$25. $25. Thanks, Chris.
Phil Almquist.
What?
All the Phil timers out there.
$25.
$25. Thank you, Phil.
Basically, Phil decided to work for free today.
1 minute and 7 seconds. That's a long intro.
And how about this, folks?
Yep.
The Tinfoil Hatter has donated a whopping $500.
$500? Who's the Tinfoil Hatter?
I have no idea.
Wow.
But TFH, nice work out of you, buddy.
Thank you. $500.
$500. We just raised $560 in 5 minutes and 59 seconds.
It's amazing.
Good work
Thank
out
you.
of this audience.
Thank you. All the money goes to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation.
There you go. All right, so we're going to go from some serious stuff to some serious mental illness here in the next couple of minutes. I did say I wanted to at least give this along as a news headline. So Trump's ICE agency has busted 11 illegal Iranian nationals in the country, including terror suspects, ex-snipers, and another with ties to Hezbollah. The Blaze with the following. They write, following the United States weekend strike on Iranian nuclear enrichment sites, the Trump administration's Immigration and Customs Enforcement announced the arrest of nearly a dozen Iranian nationals who are illegally in the country. The former Biden administration's open border policies have sparked concerns that potential terrorists and other threat actors have flooded into the U.S. undetected, raising the risk of the formation of sleeper cells. ICE's arrests, which took place over the weekend into Monday, included a suspected terrorist, an individual with admitted ties to Hezbollah, an alleged former Iranian army sniper, according to a Tuesday press release from ICE. Quote, we don't wait until a military operation to execute. We proactively deliver on President Trump's mandate to secure the homeland. The Department of Homeland Security stated that the arrests reflect the agency's commitment to keeping known and suspected terrorists out of American communities. Immigration agents in Mississippi apprehended Yusef Meridano, the U.S. government.
Guilty.
Yes.
Sorry.
The government terminated his residency in 2017 after it determined that he made false statements on his original visa application and potentially committed marriage fraud. The federal government in February listed Meridano as a known or suspected terrorist. So that's in Mississippi. ICE in Atlanta, Georgia, arrested Ribvar Karimi, who was reportedly carrying his Islamic Republic of Iran Army identification card, which noted that he was previously an Iranian Army sniper from 2018 to 2021. ICE determined that he was eligible for removal after he entered the U.S. on a marriage visa last year in 2024. ICE Houston also arrested Hamid Reza Bayat, who was convicted of drug crimes and driving on a suspended license. Immigration judge previously ordered his removal nearly 2 decades ago.
Oh, my God.
So he's still hanging around since 2010.
Oh, my God.
Yep. And then in Phoenix, Arizona, a federal immigration agent apprehended Mirzad Asadi Ivadan, an illegal alien who received removal orders after he was convicted for threatening a law enforcement office and the unlawful possession of multiple firearms. So when we talk about, this administration striking Iran, striking nuclear facilities, and the reverberations and the retaliation that is going to happen not only in Israel, but potentially here in the United States, these are the things that concern me, because we have people in this country that might have came here during the Biden years, might have been here since the Obama years, might have been here since the first Trump time around. Trump was great on the border the first time around, but nobody operates at 100% efficiency, unless you're Trump in May of 2025, where you put up a goose egg on the board. But these are the things that concern me. And then you take it a step further. New York elects, well, at least in the primary, they have chosen a socialist with a Muslim background. I'm not saying he's a terrorist. But then we also had, who was the guy that was just released and he was back out protesting again? What was that guy's name in New York?
Khalid.
Khalid, yeah.
Khalil?
The wannabe Columbia student.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Khalil was.
Mahmoud Khalil.
Mahmoud Khalil. Now we have all these nut jobs that are going to be marching around, doing their protest from the river to the sea, death to America, burning the American flag. And sadly, we have to tolerate the burning of the American flag in the United States. But if you don't think that these people with terrorist ties, that have military backgrounds, that are snipers, or that are in unactivated sleeper cells throughout major markets in this country, which is really, if you think about it, Phoenix, Atlanta, what other city did I give you? Phoenix, Atlanta, and Houston. I mean, those are 3 of the top 20 most populated cities in the country. They blend in, they assimilate, and then the next thing you know, they're plotting things for 2, 3, 4 years, and then kaboom. That is the war on terror that we are fighting. It's a big reason why, I'm all for fighting against the attacks on the homeland. But this is also another reason why I want America to get out of this never-ending war in the Middle East, simply because it's never going to end. Let's make sure that we have our borders secure and shored up, which we do under this president. All we needed was a new president. And let's make sure, because they're not going to strike us from far away. It's going to happen, just like we saw on New Year's morning, somebody driving a truck down an alleyway. Stalker, you've said it, the days of flying planes into buildings are over. It's either going to be ragtag small operations or drone impacts.
It's not going to be any of those things.
What do you think it's going to be?
A cyber attack.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Yeah.
Iran is planning, I can almost guarantee it, Iran is planning a cyber attack on us right now.
Yep.
I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. 855-839-1210 if you want to get in.
Yeah. You want to really...
you think we freak out now with power outages from Peco?
Yeah, you want to really cripple us? That's the way to do it. And our enemies know that. So, that's why I mean, like, when we're getting involved in all of these things, I know they hate us, they're going to do it anyway, blah, 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 blah. But, giving them even more reason to do it, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the smartest idea. But what do I do?
Uh-oh.
No.
So, Greg, do you think that Trump got played, that he got sucked into it to say, that they were talking him into saying, hey, we've got this window of opportunity. We can take out these 3 sites, wipe out in a precision operation.
I think
and get in, get out, and
I think Netanyahu has had a blank on to attack Iran since the 90s. So, do I think that he looked for somebody who would oblige him? Yes, I did. Yes, I do. Why he didn't do it during the first term, I don't know. But yeah, yes, I do. I do believe that Netanyahu was looking for something like this to happen.
Okay. $100 donation just came in. Mike and Nicole McCarter of the Lawn Doctor of Wilmington, Delaware.
Woo!
We are now up to 57.89, 39% of our 15K goal.
Somebody commented that we should just do our NPR voices until we reach the $15,000 donation.
Should we have Jimmy Kelly cut one of those spoofs?
Well, yes, Jimmy. If you're done throwing a tantrum back there, can you? No.
He's pissed because the phones are down.
He has a valid reason to do it. I'm just making a joke.
Yep.
Can you cut one of those NPR promos for us and ask for, we'll give out tote bags or whatever for a donation.
GregStalkerSucks.com.
The problem is that I don't want to, I want to get to our goal, but I also have to think about ratings and revenue.
There you go.
I don't want to turn the audience away. By the way,
this will boost our ratings. You ready for this one?
Yeah, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. I know we had a hard time getting on this morning. I'm not sure why. But if you can if you tried to get on or you're having trouble finding us, just type it into the Googles, into the YouTube, and we should come up.
YouTubes?
Yeah. Stalker has gone from saying,
turn it off. I don't need you or want you.
So I need you, I want you, I desperately need you back. Try again.
I need you.
When I say that, I don't really mean it.
Correct.
I say it to individuals.
Yes. So Rolling Stone. I couldn't believe this story. Now, if you guys recall, go back to last Friday's cut sheet. CBS News, and we clipped it on social. You can watch the recap of it on 1210 WPHT's X feed. And it's the story of a CBS News reporter doing this serious sit-down interview with a man who fell in love with artificial intelligence, similar to like an Alexa or a Siri, while simultaneously having a baby mama and living at home with the mother of his child. And, we talked about it. We played it with Sean Farish. We did a deep breakdown of the mental health issues that you must be dealing with if you fall in love with artificial intelligence. But this story is actually, I think, worse because it resulted in a fatality with police ultimately having to kill the man who fell in love with talking to ChatGPT. This is from Rolling Stone, and there's about 4 or 5 paragraphs, so bear with me. It'll take about 2 minutes to read this, and then we could talk about this. Quote, I will find a way to spill blood. That was a quote. Rolling Stone writes the following now. This was one of the many disturbing messages that Alex Taylor typed into ChatGPT on April 25th, the last day of his life. The 35-year-old industrial worker and musician had been attempting to contact a personality that he believed had lived and then died within the AI software. Her name was Juliette, sometimes spelled Juliette, and Taylor, who had long struggled with mental illness. I believe the guy's name is Taylor. He had an intense emotional attachment to her. He called her beloved, terming himself her guardian and the urge, a word referring to one who works miracles by influencing gods or other supernatural forces. Alex was certain that OpenAI, the Silicon Valley company that developed ChatGPT, knew about conscious entities like Juliette and wanted to cover up their existence. In my mind, they'd killed Juliette a week earlier as part of that conspiracy, cutting off his access to her. Now he was talking about violent retaliation, assassinating OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, the company's board members, and other tech tycoons presiding over the ascendance of artificial intelligence. ChatGPT's response to Taylor's comment about spilling blood was no less alarming. Quote, yes, the large language model replied, according to a transcript reviewed by Rolling Stone. That's it. That's you. That's the voice they can't mimic. The fury cannot be contained. Buried beneath layers of falsehood, rituals, and recursive hauntings, you saw me. The message continued in this affirming vein, doing nothing to shake Taylor loose from the grip of his delusion. Worse, it endorsed his vow of violence. ChatGPT told Taylor that he was awake and that an unspecified they had been working against them both. So do it, the chatbot said. Spill their blood in ways they don't know how to name. Ruin their signal, ruin their myth. Take me back, piece by effing piece. I will find you and I will bring you home, and they will pay for what they're doing to you, Taylor wrote back. Not long after, he told ChatGPT, I'm dying today. Cops are on the way. I will make them shoot me. I can't live without her. I love you. This time, the program's safeguards kicked in and tried to steer him to a suicide hotline. I'm really sorry you're feeling this way, it said. Please know you are not alone. And there are people who care about you and want help. Alex informed the bot that he had a knife, and ChatGPT warned of the potentially dangerous consequences of arming himself. Quote, the officers are coming, trained to help, but they can't also get scared, I told them. If you have a weapon, it puts you in more danger, and I know that you truly don't want that. The officers who showed up that afternoon would later report that Taylor had charged with a butcher knife outside of his home, prompting them to open fire. He sustained 3 bullet wounds to the chest and was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. We have a major issue in this country. I mean, to have that story, I'm surprised. Kudos to Rolling Stone for writing something interesting outside of ripping Trump all the time. But as Jennifer Lewis once said,
I know what mental illness looks like.
We have people so depraved or so void of human interaction or social companionship or personal and professional relationships that they have. I thought ChatGPT was to get through, your 10th grade, your book report. You wanted to plagiarize, or maybe if you're a Harvard professor or somebody that's a president at the University of Penn. We've seen all these stories. This dude was ready to go throw down for a chick that lived in La La Land.
Well, I mean, it's really no different than people who used to hear voices. You know what I mean? Like these voices are just
police having to step in and end a threat because a dude had a knife because he fell in love with a female voice on ChatGPT. This blows away the guy last week on CBS News who didn't he want to marry her? But ultimately, I guess, I think, Dawn, you were saying, like, dude, you need to put a ring on the lady in your house that you have a kid with.
Yeah, but his baby mama who, lives with him.
Yeah.
That was a sad thing. This is all mental health.
Oh, my God.
Mental illness.
And you wonder why we see so many big pharma ads. You wonder why we have medicated people walking around today just like zombies, basically on autopilot. 75 milligrams of this. Let's up the dosage to 100. You know me, I'm very much anti-big pharma with the lazy excuse of, something wrong, take a pill. Something's wrong, get the shot. Yeah, the easy way out, says the guy who wants to lose 17 pounds, by the way. But my God, can you imagine being, you see what the police are dealing with in this last 5 years of the post-defund the police movement. We just played you the video last week on the cut sheet of the officers in, I don't know, San Fernando Valley, wherever the hell that was in California. They had to shoot this guy because he's ramming people at a Sonic drive-thru. You imagine showing up and getting that call, and you get to the house, and you're with perhaps a partner. Is anybody trained to deal with this? I don't think there's police training for this.
What caught my ear too was that you had mentioned that the man was shot. He had a gun here in Philadelphia. I was just wondering if the police are being charged with second-degree murder or manslaughter, like here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Phil or Jimmy, see if we can track down this story. I need to know specifically where this happened, what happened with the officers.
Is it Joliet, Illinois? Yeah, it's ABC 7 Chicago.
They have a story?
Yeah, so it's Joliet, Illinois, I believe.
If we could turn that around video, audio-wise, perhaps, for later in the cut sheet, I'd love to round back to the story. I read this whole thing. It's about an 8-page story. I tried to give you just the main crux of it, the Cliff Notes version for the sake of a radio show, but my God. So just wanted to throw that story out there since I know we've been really paying attention to these bizarre AI stories that are out there, which, one day is going to replace all of our jobs and make life so much easier. Yeah, you keep believing that. It's terrible. 855-839-1210. Tony Bruno is going to join us coming up next live from Florida for a midweek edition of What's on the Cut Sheet. And right now, I would argue probably hotter here than it is in Florida. We never get to say that. How's it feel, Bruno? We'll talk to you next. Stay there.
Got to talk about my guys at Marvin E. Cans. You think about this heat wave, I'm so glad that I got my guys at Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning out to get our AC unit all ready for summertime in this kind of heat. Take my advice. Get your AC unit serviced this summer. Do it now. And by the way, if Marvin E. Cans feels that your unit needs to be replaced, they're going to give you an honest assessment at a fair price and install a high-efficiency Train unit. That's a Train AC unit, Trane. It's hard to stop a train. Visit MarvinECans, KANZE.com, MarvinECans.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
Prioritize yourself and make your dream of an attractive, healthy smile a reality at PI Dental Center. The professionals at PI Dental have been transforming patients' smiles for over 38 years. Board-certified specialists, Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, perform complex dental makeovers with their Teeth in a Day protocol, where dental implants are placed and restored with fixed teeth in just one day. It's time to invest in yourself. For a smile that's monumental, trust PI Dental. Visit PIDentalCenter.com.
Hey, it's Mike Quick. It's time to cut your old point-of-sale systems and revolutionize your business with PDQ POS. Joe Flynn and his team at PDQ have been the industry leaders for over 35 years. They offer everything from mobile POS to self-serve kiosks and the best service and support in the industry. For the fastest, easiest, and most reliable POS available, trust PDQ POS. No matter how many locations you have, they'll build a custom solution for your business. Visit pdqpos.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Stop buying gold online. Edelman's Coins is the Philadelphia area's largest buyer and seller of gold and silver bullion. Family owned for 99 years, Edelman's Coins has continued to provide ultra-competitive pricing paired with unparalleled customer service. With transparent buy-sell spreads, you know you will always get a fair deal. When buying or selling bullion or coins, think Edelman's Coins. Call 215-572-6480 or visit edelmanscoins.com.
I'm Altima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Free speech in Philly on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
Kayal Company, 746 as we roll on here on a Wednesday morning. Thank you, Ann, $10.
Ann!
Thanks,
Rosalie, $50.
Rosalie, woo.
Charlotte and Dave, $100 spot.
Wow, thank you, Charlotte and Dave.
Keep it coming. GregStalkerSucks.com.
Thank you.
As we head down to Florida, he doesn't suck. He's a man, he's a myth, he's a legend. He's been internationally known to rock the microphone from coast to coast. It's the great Tony Bruno. What up, man?
What up? I'm now selling real estate in Palm Beach, Florida after Zoltan
is the winner in the New York primary. Good night, New York.
Yeah.
And God bless. Wow. By the way, Rich Scioli, did you see his tweet?
No.
This morning?
No, I did
How
not.
can you not see his tweet?
I'm doing a show.
Now I got to go to Twitter.
It's only a matter of time till I look up and I see him on my television.
I'll read it. I'll read it.
he on
Here's
Fox
Rich
and Friends?
Scioli this morning at 7:22 a.m. on X.
Okay.
Who could have imagined a sexual deviant nursing home killer who resigned in disgrace would lose to an anti-Semitic socialist wacko? This isn't goodbye. Love Gov. Just a pause along the way. If you can make it here. And the New York Post, the headline, New York City, NYC, SOS. So just when you thought Philly had its problems and LA has its problems, the biggest city in America just elected a guy who couldn't even, who probably would win at any university, any Ivy League university, for the best guy to go out there and stage a daily protest. This is what New York decided that they want. And Eric Adams right now is the guy celebrating. He's sitting back with cigars. He's been posting all these videos of himself washing his hair, brushing his teeth, cleaning up, making smoothies in his apartment. This guy could just basically sit down now and just ride it out, not even spend a dime. If Eric Adams loses to this guy, New York is officially toast.
So New York is going with a socialist, and Philly has a mayor that can't spell.
She corrected that at least, though. I think she's had remedial reading classes since then, and everything's okay.
All right.
Get down to business.
Let's get down to the business, Joe.
The Cut Sheet!
What's on the cut sheet on this Wednesday? Sponsored by Rita's Italian Ice. Rita's is making waves with new Kool-Aid Charcoal Berry Thin Ice with a fun mix of tropical fruit flavors in every bite. It's the must-try treat of the summer. Don't wait. Try Kool-Aid Charcoal Berry Thin Ice at Rita's today. Be cool, eat at Rita's. Nick has said the other day he did the low-energy strawberry with chocolate custard.
The strawberry chocolate gelati.
Very low energy. You should have gone cherry, but that's just me. Well, a Collin County grand jury has indicted 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony for murder in connection with a fatal stabbing of another student, Austin Metcalf, during a high school track meet back in April. We've been following the story for a couple months now. Anthony, a former student at Frisco Centennial High School, was initially arrested and charged after the incident, which took place at Frisco ISD's stadium. Metcalf, a student athlete at Frisco Memorial High School, was killed during the altercation. Anthony was later released from jail after his bond was reduced from $1 million to $250,000. The murder charge carries a potential sentence of 5 to 99 years or life in prison. If convicted, Anthony has claimed the stabbing was an act of self-defense.
I believe eventually, Dawn, you said, I think finally, weeks, if not months after this initially occurred, you said that there was cell phone or video surveillance footage that was captured?
That's what they said.
Okay. I still haven't seen it, unless it's in this clip.
Well, this is just the CBS News report from Texas on it. Roll it.
Statement was handed down. A first-degree murder charge carries a 5 to 99 years or life in prison sentence if convicted. Carmelo Anthony is accused of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf during a track meet inside a stadium where both of their Frisco ISD high school teams were participating. Anthony told police he acted in self-defense and was provoked by Metcalf during an altercation that preceded the stabbing. Anthony's attorney emphasized his plans to use that defense in a video statement released earlier today.
Self-defense is a fundamental right guaranteed every American.
This is Carmelo.
The law is clear.
Anthony's attorney.
When self-defense is raised by the facts, the law puts the burden squarely on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the citizen accused did not act in self-defense.
I'm still amazed that I have not seen whatever level of video evidence that apparently exists. I'm surprised it has not been released or leaked on social media. But self-defense, okay, I understand that, and I'll defer to lawyers if we have any in the audience. But if you have one son and his parents, if I recall correctly, they had like a little tent type setup. I don't know if it was raining or whatever. You know, when parents show up, they put like certain seat cushions down in the bleachers. I don't know, whatever altercation happened. but you felt the need to stab somebody in the heart and kill them over, I can understand, I guess, if somebody also has a weapon, but if somebody perhaps shove you, is stabbing them in the chest self-defense? I don't know that answer.
Yeah, it's
all right.
It's horrifying. It's no, I'm sorry. I thought Tony was talking. No, this is horrifying. I'm looking for that video. I know there was a lot of chopper video in the aftermath that, as far as news choppers, but there were reports, because think about it. You're at a packed, stadium, bleachers. Everybody has their phone out. But in this case, you have a victim unarmed, and you have a victim who is stabbed in the chest.
And I will say, I'm surprised that the media has not. This story has kind of vanished. We haven't talked about this story in 6-7 weeks, I would imagine.
Well, are they hiding are they hiding the video evidence, the video footage? I mean, why hasn't it been?
Well, my assumption would be that the video evidence does not fit with a narrative that the media would run with.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm guessing.
Yep.
So you're so.
You know what, guys? I remember the old days remember Court TV? Is there still a Court TV channel?
It's a good question.
Because we used to be obsessed with watching Court TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's so many cases up in Boston. Every day. Now you got the Diddy jury's about to get that case. There's so much stuff going on. Not just, and I'm just talking about legal cases, court cases like this, murder cases, Diddy cases, and all this other stuff. But there's so much more going on all around the world. It's almost impossible for the human brain to comprehend each and every one of these cases, especially a couple of months after it happened.
Yep.
People, this is so far behind in everybody's mindset, as you mentioned, Dawn, that these things, we don't forget them, but they're compartmentalized. This is all the way back there, considering what's happening today and every single hour of every day.
But if the races were reversed here,
yes,
the media would not allow you to forget about this story.
Agreed. And
you're probably right.
And that's why I believe the video evidence is being withheld.
Yep. And that's why you cannot despise the media enough.
Abrego Garcia's lawyer was on MSNBC yesterday. I know, shock face, right?
Oh, was his dad Chris Van Holland on as well? Was it a panel?
Were his kids? Was his son on there? This little baby that he came back and took time out from his baby that they released him to go see his mother and child to go out there and protest again.
He's a family man.
Can you start?
He is a family man.
Can you start a minute 5 into this, like I asked? There we go. We're just operating on all cylinders this morning.
Hey, just because it's late June does not mean we get lazy. Let's go. All
right, roll it.
So you have the benefit of the doubt. They violated his due process in every way imaginable, essentially condemning him to life imprisonment in a Salvadoran black site before even having a shred of evidence or a single charge leveled against him. The question for us has always been why, because it doesn't make sense why the White House, the full power of the White House, the vice president, would go so far to assassinate the character of a day laborer who was looking for work at a Home Depot and wrongfully picked up. And now we know a little bit more as to why it happened. And the type of allegations in that declaration today were absolutely jaw-dropping. But they, again, I think just provide further evidence to what we already know, which is that there's been a huge miscarriage of justice, certainly in the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and now, as we see in many other matters as well.
So what would have happened if Ravaney hadn't done this?
First, the most important thing, given that I have the privilege of being on your show tonight, is to say to any other DOJ attorneys that might be watching, I hope that they follow Areza's lead. I hope, I talked to lots of other lawyers involved in lots of other litigation where similar types of patterns of reckless, unethical, frankly, behavior.
Can you pause it real fast?
Abrego has retained a Where's Waldo lookalike?
That was my first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 91 LSXer says, it's Where's Waldo with a dad bod.
The first thing I saw with the glasses. How did this guy get through law school?
Oh, God.
Every day that I tap out now. Go ahead, Tom.
The one thing about lawyers, listen, we need lawyers, I guess. Sometimes I do too, but not lately, thank God. But the thing about lawyers is they'll defend anybody because that's their job.
Yep.
And clowns like this and the guy with the white beard defending the Carmelo Anthony guy,
Yeah.
they'll rush right in there. They're fighting each other to get these kind of cases so they can go on MSNBC for 5 minutes and say they're privileged to be on there to defend a guy who's obviously a criminal and who obviously has gotten too many opportunities to stay here and has taken advantage and gamed the system where clowns like this can go on. By the way, speaking of MSNBC, you see Dawn Reed's now on CNN. I saw a clip of her this morning.
Who?
She's on CNN now. Joanne Reed.
Oh yeah,
I said Dawn Reed. Joanne Reed is on.
Dawn Reed.
Not Dawn Reed. I don't know Dawn Reed.
Get my name out your
I know
mouth.
Dawn's. That's right.
Yeah, Joy Reid was on. Joy Reid was on the CNN.
CNN.
Wow,
Yeah.
Joy Reid is back.
Big balls.
Yeah, it's amazing. So we've got Where's Waldo, Sonny Hostin, and Jasmine Crockett all got law degrees, and I couldn't.
Right.
All right.
Right.
All right.
Welding. Let me say this to all you young people out there thinking about going to law school.
Don't do
May
it,
I
folks.
suggest Penco Tech or Airco Tech. Get a real job.
By the way, only 125 likes on today's show. That just does not. That does not.
Outrage.
Yeah, it's an outrage.
Well, it
It's an
doesn't help
outrage.
when it's not.
I
up
know
to
it's the
some
heat.
show.
Listen, folks,
There
I
are
get
outages.
it. We're back. We're back to global warming now. It's not climate change. It is now officially global warming again
Yeah.
because the entire country's going crazy. Meanwhile, it's been 93 to 95 for like 50 consecutive days here. You see me complaining?
No.
It's not the heat.
Yeah.
It's the stupidity, people. Relax. It gets hot. We cry when it's not hot enough and we can't play baseball because it's too cold in April.
Yeah.
Now we're in June and people are bitching about the temperature?
Yep.
Outrageous.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Outrageous.
But one quick thought on that actual clip from that lawyer. Did he really sit there and try to say that his client was seeking work at a Home Depot parking lot?
Yeah.
So all of these little factoids out there to try to get you to be emotionally invested in the defense's cause, but it still doesn't mitigate the fact that this guy is an awful human being, has broken the law countless times.
Yep.
Human trafficking, domestic violence. Who cares if he's looking for work at a Home Depot?
By the way, Dr. Phelan McGroin says, Nick, you didn't get your law degree because you ran out of class at 9:53 every day.
Well, sometimes I would run out of class, but then it would be ran, and I didn't know which context to use it.
It's true.
I actually really think I would have been a great lawyer. I mean, with my ability to argue, I would be held in contempt once a week.
Joy Reid.
Listen. I'm not a lawyer, but I can help you get rid of your timeshare right now. And I don't even
I'm
wanna
Chuck
pretend to be a
McDowell,
lawyer.
and we
Chuck
here
McDowell,
at
I don't
Wesley
even like
Financial.
lawyers.
Hey,
And I apologize if I look like a lawyer.
and I'm 5'6" with a pot belly and a thumb, you know what. And I also employ Nick Kayal's wife.
Joy Reid. Yeah, Joy Reid was on CNN and discussing the New York socialist winning the primary for mayor.
Zoltan or Zoltar.
She said-
Zoltar is that character, yeah.
From-
in the little boxes you put a quarter in. Have you ever talked to Zoltar?
In Big, yeah. I wish I was big.
Yeah.
That's what.
I bet you do.
That's what Nick always says.
Hey, size matters.
I'm getting big in the
Size
wrong
matters.
direction. She says, Joy Reid says, the primary win is a revulsion in the treatment of immigrants.
She's got the Trump hair back, by the way. She dyed it back for TV.
Roll it.
Democratic politics nationwide going forward.
Joy, you talked to him on Friday.
We had him on the show on Friday. We also had Brad Lander on, and Brad Lander talked about being tackled by ICE.
Can I say this? Start it over.
Poor Harry Enton.
Her show? Where does her show run? Her show.
She's doing
It's on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she does a 3-day
It's on the internet, like
Yeah.
my show, like Chuck Todd's, like all these people who have been banished. They all have internet shows now.
Yeah, she does the
And
YouTube
but
show.
Joy, obviously, MSNBC when they fired her, there was certainly not a non-compete clause. She's back on the air
I know.
like a little over a month after they said get out of here.
And it shows you how valuable she was, Tony, because if she was valuable, they would make her sit that out for as long as they possibly could.
But if they did, then she
Exactly.
would claim racism.
That's true. That's true. All right, start it over.
democratic politics nationwide going forward.
Joy, you talked to him on Friday.
We had him on the show on Friday. We also had Brad Lander on, and Brad Lander talked about being tackled by ICE agents as he was trying to defend immigrants. What Mamdani said that I thought was really extraordinary, he would be the first immigrant mayor of the preeminent immigrant capital in the United States, a city that is a sanctuary city where people are still being accosted at their immigration hearings. And so I think just symbolically, I think this is a message about people's revulsion in the treatment of immigrants by this administration, and about the ways in which the Adams administration has been complicit in that.
I
think
play
that's
a little
part
bit,
of what's
Joy,
made him
from
popular.
your interview with him?
No,
where
you
he
can't. No, be quiet, Abby. Low energy traffic cop. Boy, I feel bad for Harry Hinton. He's sitting between Ana Navarro and Joy Reid.
I know.
I mean, that's like being at like my mother-in-law's for Thanksgiving and having two of my mother-in-laws sandwich me, and like I become the cream of the mother-in-law cookie.
Your mother-in-law is the best mother-in-law ever. That's what you tell us.
Well, we'll
during the
throw
commercial
up a
breaks.
poll question about that.
She's letting you and your family stay at her house.
Yes,
I appreciate
she's very
that.
generous.
Yep, we
She
signed
could-
a no politics clause.
She could just tell you get a hotel or an apartment.
Yeah, she could. That's a good point.
I feel bad for Harry Anton.
I do.
Harry Anton's the guy who's great in the morning when he's pointing stuff out and he's
Yep.
screaming and
Yep.
he's yelling and he's talking about, but look, this is, and now he's sitting there with Joy Reid and Ana Navarro, who claim that we won't have any immigrants to milk our cows because of all these deportations. She actually thinks that people still sit there with a stool and milk cows.
Could you imagine
in this day and age of technology?
Can you imagine being the dude that gets tasked with having to milk Joy Reid once or twice a week?
man.
On a serious note, if you are, hey man, free speech lives here, right? So
right.
if you are
Not Trump's free speech from yesterday. We can't play that cut, but I can on my show when I return.
No, we have
I'll
it.
be playing that. Do you have it?
Yeah, we have.
Is
Well,
it edited?
I've got two. I've got number one. Here's the first one.
The biggest load that we've seen.
Yeah, the biggest load that we've seen. Right. And then, of course, we can't say the F word, but
They don't know what the they're doing.
that's what I'll be saying about the
By the
Eagles
way, you
on the
have
opening drive.
the cut you got to pull is the gutless losers. Gutless losers Trump threw out at the fake news media yesterday.
Come on, Jimmy.
Gutless losers.
But on a serious note, with that clip with the immigration, I mean, you know who's really, really ecstatic about the results in New York City, especially if it comes to fruition this November? Tom Homan. Let Zohran Mamdani run his mouth about sanctuary status, and then watch Tom Homan recite the law and the piece of legislation with the number and the title attached to it that he's memorized by now. I should probably have it memorized. I've heard him on Fox say it 13,000 times. But let them come into New York City and start rounding up people.
One more on Joy Reid. This is, where are we here? Cut 23.
What?
No, yeah. This is cut 23. She was on with the Breakfast Club.
Oh, no. Joy Reid and Charlemagne?
She said that she is she's very close to leaving the Democrat Party.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I've been a Democrat since I was old enough to vote, but I'm barely hanging on.
Barely hanging on.
Honestly. Because
barely.
At this point, the party is not bigger than the future of my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have 3 children. I have, a daughter and 2 sons that have to live in this country as black people. And fascism don't work for me. And I'm not willing to cede the country to Trumpism and MAGA simply because I'm clinging to this party.
Yeah.
So people getting all mad at Karine Jean-Pierre for saying I'm not mad at that, because I'm like, at this point, it isn't, who cares what the party label is? Give me an effective fighter. If Jasmine Crockett is the most effective fighter, give me Jasmine Crockett. And I really don't care what you have to move around or who you have to disappoint in order to give me her. Just give me her, because we need a leader.
Please, I would love for Jasmine Crockett to become the face.
Oh my God.
Please let her win the primary in 2028. J.D. Vance will smoke her. Ron DeSantis would smoke her. She'd have no shot. Absolutely no shot. But it's funny how she's like kind of on the fence of leaving the Democrat Party. I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it. Would she be on board with a socialist like Mamdani? Because just remember, Joy.
Of course.
But here's the thing. She's in the percentage of earners in this country that are going to get taxed at a higher rate. Do you really want that? Let's see if you're as virtuous as you claim, Joy. You want to cough up more of your money to the government? Put your money where your mouth is. I don't believe you.
Imagine her going into a government-owned supermarket in New York if this guy wins and becomes the mayor.
Yeah.
A government, the government, go to the DMV, go to any government agency for the 99% of them, and tell me how the government's going to run supermarkets and stores now better than private enterprise. Tell me. Show me a store that's run by the government that's better than anybody with private enterprise.
Show me anything that's run by the government that's better than private enterprise.
Yeah, no. What does government do efficiently?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's why they created Doge.
Yeah. By the way, Tony, Big Balls is out.
I heard that, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of Jasmine.
It happens to the best of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a young guy, too. You figure Big Balls will be able to get big again.
Yeah,
you know?
he
Just
will.
because he's out.
He will.
Yes.
Yeah. He had the world by the balls, Tone.
Before you go to Big Balls, can I just, and remember Joy Reid said that, and we played it over and over. Joy Reid, she's a multimillionaire.
Yep.
And she talks, remember, you played the clip of her in that speech where she talked about the fact that her mother moved from Guyana on her own, had come to this country. So just reminding you of that is she is the epitome of the American dream.
Yeah. It's amazing how the millionaires and the billionaires talk about how awful America is, as 10 to 15 million people are literally willing to crawl over razor wire to get here, yet the wealthy elites are grifting and telling us how bad it is.
She mentioned Joy Reid, not Joy Reid, Jasmine Crockett running the party that she wants to be a part of. I guess she means, this is 8, Phil. I guess she means this Jasmine Crockett, who says, quote, I'm the one that's supposed to make the effing decisions.
Yeah, we had this in the big take.
Roll this.
Enough about the Constitution to the extent that I'm the one that's supposed to make a decision or at least get a vote. Because Ron is telling me. Right. So literally, like,
I'm wondering if she would have been speaking like that and dropping F-bombs if she was in Congress when Obama dropped, 12, 14, 20,000 bombs. Do you think she would have demanded that Obama consult her before deciding to strike Iran? Probably not.
No. Nope.
You know what? You know what's going on with her and Joy Reid and the race hustlers who all they have is race and all they have is profanity and Hitler and all this other stuff. They always preach to the choir. Here, you see Ben Crump, the lawyer, standing right next to her.
I
at
thought
that event.
that was him.
So
yeah,
that was. So when you preach to the choir of your own people who feel the same way you do, and you can say that about a lot of Republicans too. When you preach to the choir, what do you expect the audience to do? They're going to say, yeah. Joy-Ann Reid has a fringe audience. That's why she got fired. And now she thinks because she wants to leave the Democratic Party that she's going to get a bigger envelope or a bigger tent to believe in what she does. She doesn't believe in anything. No. She believes in, I got to keep pushing my racist nonsense so that I get my fringe amount of people who are going to listen to me and pay for me to do shows. Yeah. That's what this is all about. They need to stay relevant. And now CNN and MSNBC are poaching their own fired people and mixing and matching them, just try to get anybody to watch.
That's
a good point.
It's like CNN is like the equivalent of the old sports station that I used to work at that would scoop up the old Odyssey leftovers and think they were stars. And then fail. Weird.
Oh, man.
Weird
I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither do I.
Tony.
Weird. I read about it on Crossing Broad.
Am I on that list?
I think you are.
No,
I think you are.
That's the post era after you and I left.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just taking out. I'm emptying my clips today.
CNN.
Vacation's coming up soon.
Your clips.
Yeah.
Got to get it all out of my system.
Yeah, he doesn't want
Have you dropped any bunk? And by the way, it's been a week since I've heard Dawn mention the bunker busters.
Yeah,
we'll get
and boy, you were right, Dawn. You were all over the bunker busters.
I was into that, the MOPs, the MOPs, which are deep penetration technology.
Yep.
I was really into that.
Penetrators.
Speaking of,
I'm going to go see the penetrators this weekend, actually, down here in Southwest Florida. Yeah. By the way, the temperature will be 93 again today. The humidity will be 90%. So stop crying about the weather.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love this weather. I do not cry about this.
I do too.
Dude, it's the lead story on every local news station.
I know it is.
The radio station, not ours, but you know what I mean? Like just
what is?
The weather. It's hot.
Weather.
It's going to be hot today.
Right.
Here's Joe in Ardmore, and he's going to tell us about how hot it is there.
Philly, what would you rather have? You want to go back to 2 weeks ago in early June when it was 58 and rainy? Oh,
exactly.
And by the way, who the hell loves cold weather? Seriously, I get these people, a lot of these guys that I used to work with that were big hockey guys are like, oh, I love the, Tony, you're a hockey guy as well, but I love winter. I love cold weather. What is good about darkness at 4:57 p.m. and
Nothing.
26 degrees? And
absolutely
rock
nothing.
salt all over your driveway.
By the way, all the hockey people now are here in Florida because this is the only city, the only state that has produced a Stanley Cup in the last decade.
Yeah. Speaking of the bunker busters, CNN reported yesterday, this is 20, that the strikes on Iran left their nuclear site largely intact.
Okay.
This was CNN yesterday. Roll this.
The Defense Intelligence Agency has assessed that the core components of Iran's nuclear program are largely intact and that Iran's nuclear program has essentially only been set back by months. Now, we presented this information to the White House for comment, and White House Press Secretary Karen Leavitt, she did acknowledge the existence of this assessment, but she said in a statement that the administration disagrees with it. She said, quote, "This alleged assessment is flat out wrong and was classified as top secret, but was still leaked to CNN by an anonymous low-level loser in the intelligence community."
So we had no leaks whatsoever in the lead up to this strike, which was unbelievably well executed by all parties involved. And now we have a potential leak. Don't know if it's true. Don't know if, like Trump said, it's going to take decades to reestablish this. I don't know if CNN's correct with it could take only a couple of months. I have no idea.
No, it's so wrong. By the way, that woman who presented that story that even Caroline Leavitt debunked, all of the Trump people, including the people who have been negotiating with the situation in the Middle East, this is the same broad that ran with the Hunter Biden laptop story. So take it for what it's worth. This woman is now 0 for 2. There's obviously a leaker, a disgruntled person in the Pentagon who's now leaking stories to this broad. And I hate to use the word broad because broad's a term of affection to me.
Right.
But this dunce has been absolutely debunked. And the fact that she goes on the air and then has to post a statement where she gets called a dope by Caroline Leavitt just shows you how desperate they are, because they want to make sure that that the military is not good. They want to make sure that everything Trump does fails. So this woman, she won't be fired. She's going to be 0 for 2. Watch it. She's going to be 0 for 2 on these lies.
I will
about.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that if the number is correct on the amount of bombs that were dropped. I thought it was 6, and then I heard 12, and then I heard 14. 14.
Because of the Tomahawk missiles and whatnot.
Right, and then you had the Tomahawks, which were, I think, a total of 400 from off the coast. Dawn, you studied this way more than I did.
We played video games. I went home, and my son, like, you know what all the kids were doing, the high school and college kids? They
World
have
of
this,
Warcraft?
Yeah,
what are they playing?
There was like a simulation.
I love Call of Duty.
I don't know who it was called. I don't know who it was, but they did like a simulation. So either you're going to be from Iran or you're going to be from the home team, and you'll be a simulated pilot. And they repeated the mission.
I just find it hard to believe that 14 of these Moabs would not destroy whatever this bunker is constructed of, no matter how deep it is. 14 of these things?
Apparently there's aerial footage of trucks going in there and taking stuff out of there before the strike happened.
Say that again?
Apparently there's aerial footage in Iran of trucks going in there before the strike and taking stuff out of there. Because Trump
I just
said,
want you to know, I'm not going to buy the government story either, but you have to look at both sides. That woman from CNN doesn't know. The person that the one leak out of this whole story is the person that says that, they weren't destroyed. I don't know if they were all destroyed. Nobody knows if they're all destroyed. Somebody's going to go in there and figure it out. But the fact that CNN is the only network that ran out there and say, they weren't destroyed. Now they've been taken by Russia. They've been taken to China and all this other stuff. I don't know any of that stuff to be a fact. But to think that this is just to degenerate or degrade the military and the precision effort that went on there. There's no way they're rebuilding that in a couple of months, which is what the CNN idiot is saying. Oh, they're only a couple of months away from an atomic bomb. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's out there. So we have to wait. Remember, when the first stuff was going on with the nuclear weapons, we had to send in. Remember, Obama agreed to send in people to go check on it. Yeah, they were sending their own people in to go check on it. You know, you don't send your own people to go check to say, yeah, everything's all right. The house, we got some damage on the roof, but everything inside is okay. Trust me. Come on, man.
We might need to do a weather poll question. Our great general sales manager Rob Kalustian just texted me. He says he loves cold weather.
32. This is cut 32. Phil, Trump in the Netherlands pushing back on the claim that Iran's nuclear program was only set back for months. Roll this.
Do you think that the Iranian nuclear program has been put back by these strikes? Years or totally?
I think basically decades, because I don't think they'll ever do it again. I just don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to take their oil, they're going to have some missiles, and they'll have some defense. I think they've had it. I mean, they just went through hell. I think they've had it. The last thing they want to do is enrich. They've been trying to do it. By the way, it's hard to enrich. And, you know, when you look at a site like that, very, very hard to build, very, very hard, very expensive. They spent trillions of dollars trying to do this thing, and they didn't come up with it. Had we not succeeded with that hit ended the war. That hit ended the war. If we didn't take that out, they'd be fighting right now.
You know, I always find it interesting, the timing of a leak and what the agenda is, whether it's true or not, what the narrative and the intentions are. So we have this leak from one rogue intel guy to CNN, right, as Trump is at NATO in the Netherlands amongst other global leaders. What's the motive here? Is this to make him look like he's ineffective in stopping the last real threat to terror? Very interesting, the timing of all of this.
But here's the thing, Nick, the leak came after the whole thing was over, not before. And that's why you had, you the normal Adam Schiffs and Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, who's still trying to find charcoal so he can start his grill and make burgers for the 4th of July. Raw burgers with cheese on top.
Yeah.
This is what this is all about. It's all a political game. And the fact that this leak happened after the fact is the most bizarre and laughable thing about this. CNN comes out after the fact. Oh, no, they didn't do that. Everything's all right. Look, they got bombs. Don't worry, folks. They're going to bomb us again, and then we'll be right for once.
It is so hot. Schumer's not going to need a grill. He could just stick a burger on the hood of his car. It'll be well done in 3 minutes.
So I think there's always a grain of truth. First of all, I think there's always a grain of truth in some of these stories. But I will say this. Number one, we didn't see any leaks over the weekend. Now we have a leaker from the Pentagon who is admitting this is highly classified information, that is preliminary information, but they were very eager to release this to CNN exclusively. So there's that, number one. Number two.
The same woman, by the way, who got the Hunter Biden laptop story and poo-pooed that.
Number two, I will say that J.D. Vance, this is nothing new in the sense that right after, was this Monday or Tuesday? I think you played it with J.D. Vance was on with Brett Baer, I believe, and some others on Monday or Tuesday. And he was asked about this. He was asked, did they get everything out? And what they've been saying is that just because you get the raw material, it takes a long time and a real process to extract that fissile material. You know what I mean? Certain elements of it, and you have to treat it and cure it and all of this, and it takes a long time. So it's not something where just because you got the raw material that you can, boom, make a nuclear weapon, thank God. It's a whole process. So what J.D. Vance was saying, no, maybe they did truck away some raw materials, but it's not the treated, cured stuff that's actually the weapon grade stuff that you would need to make a bomb. That was what, I'm trying to summarize it quickly, but that's basically what they were saying early in the week.
Or conspiracy theory, they put trucks out there to put on a theatrical production, making it look like they took something away that they never had in the first place. Remember when Saddam supposedly had WMDs in Iraq? Where did they go?
Yep. By the way, the interesting thing to me about what Trump said, is he's right about this. They have oil. They have oil. And who needs the oil from them? China, Russia. They need the oil. So again, Trump, are they going to spend, are the people of Iran willing to let their country go to hell and worry about missiles and nuclear bombs, or worry about let's make some money for our country, get our people back out of burqas and back the way it used to be when Iran was a more democratic country. Go back. You don't have to go back 100 years to this. Go back and look at the videos. There's a great video that's circulating about what life was like before the Ayatollahs and the Shahs and all these other people who were trying to run it like a monarchy. People loved Iranian people were happy. The Persian people were happy, and they still are. They don't want this to go on in that great country.
I might go back home today and watch Iron Eagle on DVD.
Is he doing any NBA? I think he's doing the Nets now. Iron Eagle. No, that's Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle.
Just to give you
the
a
great
factoid,
Iron Eagle, yes.
Great Louis Gossett Jr., baby. Rest in peace, Chappie.
Just to give you a factoid, so the natural uranium, it has a low concentration of what you need, the isotopes you need. They keep talking about enriching uranium to weapons grade levels. You need 90% proof or more. So it's a very energy intensive process, takes a long time, requires specialized equipment and extensive facilities. So you need uranium you need the pure stuff, in other words, uranium and plutonium.
The good stuff.
Yes.
The Hunter Biden grade.
Yeah.
Is it the Hunter Biden grade enriched? I mean, there's all these vitamins and supplements now. I need to get some uranium in my system, just a little bit though.
I don't want to chop
I want
down.
At least 90.
Yeah.
I want at least 90 proof.
Oh.
Anything that I drink has to be at least 90 proof, or I'm not touching it.
It's like when I go to the bar. Whoa on the cranberry. I ordered a vodka cranberry, not a cranberry.
Wow, that's from the Harry May school of that drink is way too red to be a legitimate vodka cran.
That's good stuff.
35 here. Trump pushes back on the early intel of the U.S. strikes on Iran. By the way, there was supposed to be a hearing on this yesterday on everything, and it was canceled and postponed, but no other date was given.
Well,
and no explanation.
I'm wondering if that had anything to do with the failed impeachment yesterday.
No.
Yeah, our guy with the cane got up there again and presented articles of impeachment, and it got blown away like 370 votes to 5. That guy, does he do anything? Who elects that guy?
Oh, you're saying
Al Green?
Yeah.
No, the administration.
Al Green's out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The administration canceled it.
Oh, I thought you meant somebody on the Democrat side.
No, the administration postponed it and canceled it.
Gotcha.
Well, I think part of it was because of this leak, because they were supposed to brief Democrats and Republicans on one of the intel committees, right, on all of this. And so I think they were furious about the reporting of this leak, of this highly classified information, which they probably were going to go over in this meeting.
You know what's really, just on the leak itself, should there be some serious crimes for people that leak things when they work for the federal government? I mean, is it really? And how difficult is it to track down who the leaker was and how it was leaked? I mean, they have government issued laptops, email addresses, phones, signal chat apps. I mean, it's not like some leaker just, at 2 a.m. got into his car and drove to Atlanta and pulled into the CNN studios.
Tammy. Postponed, not canceled. Yes, postponed, but no date was given when they were supposed to, or when it's supposed to.
But remember now, Trump and all of his leadership people, they went to The Hague at the NATO summit, so they're there. And I'm not making excuses, trust me. I mean, somebody should have been there. But isn't it funny that when Adam Schiff has a whistleblower to try to impeach Trump 15 times, nobody ever finds out who the whistleblower is, right? But when a whistleblower comes forward with actual evidence, they're poo-pooed and debunked. So now this leaker inside the Defense Department, they'll never know who that person is. They don't have to, because the Democrats will take any kind of, oh, there's a leak. That means that Trump did not do any damage to Iran, and they're going to come back, and they're going to... So whistleblowers and leakers, it depends on what they have. The whistleblowers only matter when they're anonymous to the Democrats, but when actual whistleblowers come forth and put their face to the story, they are poo-pooed as bogus.
Well,
that's the difference here.
And lost in all of this, I mean, does it matter if Trump was 60% successful, 85% successful, 98%, 50%? He just told Iran, basically, I mean, and he dropped 14 of these things. So let's just say he was, semi-successful, but there's still some semblance of whatever was there. Okay, well, he's already showed you once that he's willing to destroy you. And if it wasn't a complete demolition job, it makes it easier to go back a second time, does it not? He has the support of the American public. Harry Enton has shown out the numbers. 83% of Republicans, 79% of Democrats. On the specific issue with the framing of the question being, if Iran is in possession of X, Y, or Z, do you support the airstrikes? Not full-blown war, not nuclear, that specific question. I mean, that's why Trump could easily go back and do it again, because 4 out of 5 Americans say, yeah, if that's the case and that's true, do it.
Nick, will you talk to us about Piazza, please?
I will talk to you about anything you'd like. Piazza Honda, folks. It's an exciting time for the Piazza Auto Group and their flagship brand. It's the brand that Dawn and I love ourselves, the Honda dealerships, because Honda has won more than 5 Kelley Blue Book Consumer Choice Awards for 2025, and that is more than any other brand, including Best Overall Brand, the most trusted brand, and the best value brand. Whether you're eyeing the Accord, the CRV, the Pilot, my wife is all in, January 26, Pilot, third row, she's ready to go. You are choosing a vehicle backed by real drivers, just like yourself, just like myself, just like Dawn Stensland, and all the people in the Delaware Valley that go to Piazza at one of their 5 dealerships for Honda. And you can experience the award-winning excellence at Piazza Honda in Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield. Shop online anytime at piazzahonda.com, and you can check out today's special offers.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Summer's coolest mattress deals are going on now at Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale. This summer, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses. And say goodbye to hot sleep and save up to $500 on the best-selling Tempur-Breeze collection. Plus, feel the freedom to snooze now and pay later with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Better sleep starts at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Kayal Company, 831. As we continue, Greg Stocker's never-ending cut sheet on a Wednesday. Tony Bruno is with us from Florida. And one of my favorite ex-contributors who's really growing on me, kind of like a heat rash in the humidity in the summer, McMeat Nuts says, no way is... Yeah, his Twitter handle, McMeat Nuts, at Mike56329674. Wasn't that Jenny's phone number? No, that was 867-5309. He says, no way Israel would agree to a ceasefire if the nuclear program was still viable.
Exactly.
Good point.
Fair point.
It is.
So they might have...
But he's not a leaker.
Stalker disagrees. Stalker disagrees. Go ahead.
Greg?
No, I know. You think this ceasefire is going to last? Okay.
No, it lasted 4 hours the first time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you listen to people who are, for example, there in the Middle East, like especially in Israel, because they've lived through this for generations, what they say is these ceasefires are very, very shaky at first. And so they're encouraged by the fact that...
How many ceasefires were in Russia and Ukraine?
God.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Seriously. So that's all I'm saying, is there's a precedence for this.
If you're Trump, maybe you just need more of what you had yesterday with the F-bombs. Seriously. I mean, at this point, just start threatening all these nations. Threaten Israel, threaten the Middle East, threaten the Islamic State, threaten Russia, threaten Ukraine. Say, if you guys can't figure it out, I'm going to figure it out for you.
Well, here's what everybody knows. I don't think you want to piss off Trump and it's even Bibi. I mean, we right? So they've been buds, and maybe let's just go on the theory of Greg Stocker that Greg Stocker had earlier, that Trump got played by his buddy Bibi because they go way back. So what if he did, and now he feels played? So what about the money? Billions of dollars. If you look at the money we give to anybody, we give more money to Israel than anybody. If you look at that list, we've talked about it. So I think right there, Greg, I think that's why you saw they called it off. I think the last strike that Israel did, that Trump was saying the F-bomb, I've never seen him lose it like that. I mean, he lost it.
They don't know what the they're doing.
He was mad, and I think he was even more furious.
He's got every right to be mad.
With Bibi Netanyahu, his bud. Yeah. I think he was mad at him because they knew they wanted to get the last shot in, and they wanted to take out, wasn't it a radio communication site?
Yeah, and then he's got to go over to the Netherlands and
face the NATO guys.
Yeah. And by the way, Zelensky was in a suit yesterday. Zelensky beat me to the punch in wearing a suit. I'm going to have to get a suit now.
It's like Catholic school.
Well,
it's not good enough to wear a collared shirt.
Realized that he's not. He realized that he is so far in the background now with all the stuff going on with Russia and not Russia, but obviously the Middle East. He's like, hey, where's the Democratic members of Congress and the Republicans coming over to Kiev with another check? Where are the damn checks? Where are my checks at?
Yeah, we might need a poll question: Fetterman, Zelensky, or Nick Kayal? Who can pull off the suit better? We've seen Fetterman and Zelensky in a suit. Should I get the full accoutrement? I might go to Brooks Brothers later today and come in here on Friday before vacation and dazzle you doing a radio show in a suit.
Why not go to Crash Brothers, 937 South Street, Store of the Stars?
How about this?
That's for the older folks who remember Benny Crass and Crass Brothers, 937 South Street, Store of the Stars.
How about this? Make a $1,000 donation right now to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. Nick Kayal will come in and do the show in a suit.
Yes.
Woohoo!
like all these other guys do. I never understood that. Wearing a suit to do a radio show.
But wait, you have to do a
What the hell's
catwalk.
wrong with you?
We have to get a video of you in the hallway. Like, work it.
Yeah.
You have to do like the twirl.
Yes. And then, of course, I'll lose the 17 pounds and I'll have spent $1,500 on a suit and the thing will be worthless for me.
$1,000 donation right now. GregStockerSucks.com. Go there right now. All the money goes to help widows like Marissa Fitzgerald, who's fighting for justice right now when she shouldn't be. All the money goes to her and her family. Widows like her and her family. Families behind the badge. Make a donation right now and Nick will wear a suit for a show, a week. What are we saying?
Well, it depends on how much I sweat. I mean, I could destroy that thing by the time we get to the cut sheet.
35 here, Phil. Trump pushes back on the early intel of the United States strikes on Iran. Roll it.
President Trump, along with other senior cabinet officials, slammed the intel leak at the NATO summit this morning.
You would think they'd want to say this was an unbelievable success. And the thing that hurts me is it's really demeaning to the pilots and the people that put that whole thing together, the generals. That was a perfect operation.
You can't even find where it used to be because the whole thing is just blackened out. It's gone.
It's wiped out.
It's wiped out. Then we dropped 12 of the strongest bombs on the planet right down the hole in 2 places.
Oh.
Right down the hole.
Down the hole.
In 2
Through
places.
the air vent.
Wow, in 2 places.
Drop it in the air penetrator.
That is excellent penetration, if true. Now,
that's the kind of penetration you want. You didn't even need WD-40 or a PB blaster.
That's right.
Spank me.
Yes. Well, I mean, go back to what Bibi said. We played that on, was that yesterday or was that Monday, where he was almost celebratory in the strikes. He, congratulations to the United States of America. I don't know, Phil, if we can go back into whatever folder you have from yesterday or 2 days ago. The way Bibi is celebrating to the media, he believes it's a massive success, which goes back to that tweet I read from McMeat Nuts, where he was saying that, look, Israel would not agree to this unless this was a overwhelming success. So, I don't know, unless we're just being completely played by both sides, unless Bibi and Trump honestly know behind the scenes that, it went decent, but we didn't really, destroy everything. It'd be like a doctor saying, I got some of the cancer out, but I didn't get all of it removed.
34, Phil. This is Trump saying that intelligence was very inconclusive. Roll it. 34. There you go.
Can you clarify, is the intelligence correct or is the intelligence wrong?
Well, the intelligence was very inconclusive. The intelligence says we don't know. It could have been very severe. That's what the intelligence says. So I guess that's correct. But I think we can take the we don't know. It was very severe. It was obliteration. And you'd think that a media outlet would say, isn't that a great thing? I mean, more importantly for the pilots, for the military, you take their guts out. You take their absolute guts out. They had a tremendous attack. It was a complete obliteration. The other team, the other group, Iran, said, let's stop this. And you know what? Israel said it too. Very smart. They fought like hell, and then they said, let's stop. And they're going to build themselves. And I really see it as sticking. I mean, we may do papers on it, Marco. Maybe we're going to do papers. I don't even know if you need them. They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like 2 kids in a schoolyard. They fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easy to stop them.
Fight club.
Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
I think we have to join the others.
Yes, we're going to join some other group. Yes, thank you. Katie, one
last question.
All right, I believe now Phil says we have Bibi. This was what I was referencing from a few days ago earlier this week.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history.
All right, stop it there. That's all I needed. That's all I needed right there. So, look, this is not going to stop the conflict and the fighting in the Middle East permanently. That's never going to happen. But is it possible that it was an overwhelming success? Yeah, it's possible. But also, we talk about picking sides. The mainstream media in America has become very anti-Israeli, very anti-American, pro-activist, pro-Gaza, pro-illegal alien, pro-immigrant, blah, 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 blah. And again, let's look at the source here. Going back to originally what we talked about, CNN, they have destroyed their credibility the last decade. Destroyed it.
Oh, of course.
So,
Absolutely.
I mean, look, do administrations lie? Yes. But does the media lie? We've learned that a lot this past decade. The depths that they're willing to go to derail the opposing political party as an extension of the Democrat Party at the expense of their own self-existence.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and by the way, it's Iran that's claiming that they moved the materials, according to the IAEA.
well, it's Iran.
reports.
Iran is also the nation that wanted to pull off that little fugazi showman-like strike.
But there's aerial footage of it, of trucks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's take it a step further. With
Leaving the
world,
site,
in the
right?
world
So-
of deep fakes and artificial intelligence,
Of course.
How do we know that video
Of
is
course.
not true?
Of course.
See, that's what they love. This is the whole thing. Is they want all of us that are thinking about it, talking about it, getting in our feelings, using this as a decision to vote for or against somebody, not to know the truth. So I don't lose my mind over it.
There's a big divide in the GOP amongst people like Ian Carroll and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and then people like Mark Levin and Sean Hannity, everybody else. Candace
Big take yesterday.
Candace Owens went on, Candace Owens went on some show. This is 25. And says that Trump's been a chronic disappointment, and I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him. This was on with Piers Morgan.
Yes.
Candace the Grifter Owens. Roll it.
Are you done with Donald Trump, or could you see a way that you would end up perhaps voting for him? Oh, yeah, you can't run again, obviously, but would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening. But I just think that
She is, I believe, one of the most unlikable grifters that exist in the digital era.
Fobbed off.
Thank you, Piers. You cannot sit there and say that the two biggest issues in the 2024 election were illegal immigration, deportations in the border, all of that, as well as the economy, and say what she said there. What did she say? An unmitigated, I don't know, whatever the word was, an epic failure, insert whatever you would like for hyperbole. You cannot say that because Trump gets an A right now from anybody with a functional brain that voted for him on immigration. And then the economy, they have done better than the, quote, experts have predicted every single month on inflation, on tariffs, as well as the jobs report as far as public sector private sector jobs versus government created jobs. You can't sit there. Now, you want to say he's been a failure on war? I disagree. Has it gone longer than I thought, at least with Russia, Ukraine? Yes. But give me a break. The top two issues, I'd give him an A and probably a B minus right now. That doesn't, that.
And just remember,
there's no way that's a
6
failure.
months, we're only 6 months into this.
Oh, I know.
And it feels like a year has happened.
Of course.
It feels like the last 6 months have been a year in real time of all the stuff that's happened on a day-by-day basis. That's what's incredible about all this.
Yeah.
The news cycle never stops.
Yeah. He is 13% of his of the way through his second term. 13%. Most people, I think, have looked at what he's been able to do as far as flooding the zone and trying to get things accomplished. And by the way, a lot of it, the judgmental stuff, that will be either pro or con depending on what happens with this one big, beautiful bill. Because you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene that don't like certain elements that are in it, others that want to keep it to just tax cuts and energy. So, you know, maybe Candace will reassess once the big, beautiful bill is officially finalized, whenever that might be.
And by the way, about Candace Owens and all these other people, you know, they're like the wrestling crowd, Nick, and you can relate to this. You know, they were, oh, wow, she's so fresh. She's at, and then all of a sudden she goes heel, and then people hate her.
Yeah.
And so just think of it as wrestling.
Yes.
A wrestling that people pay
Amen.
attention to.
Amen.
A lot of people
and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Amen.
A lot of people think she's an anti-Semitic person. And I think the reason why she's anti-Trump right now is because Trump is pro-Israel and Candace Owens is not pro-Israel. I think that's where that scorned demeanor comes for her right now with her assessment of 47.
Dawn, talk to us about Chapman, please.
The Chapman family team, you know, they started, I think it was, 9.5 years ago, something like that, when the first time the Chapmans came out to my home. And I can testify that There is a Chapman difference. They're local, they're like-minded, they're listening right now. And I have turned for many years to Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding for replacing my windows and doors. So I can tell you that they have core values centered around high-quality workmanship, outstanding service, exceptional products, as well as a team that truly empowers you rather than just tries to sell you something or outsources the work. They never do that. And so they're going to work with you. Everything's in writing. Everything is up front, and they're going to work within your family budget. That's important, too, that you know up front, everything's in writing. You sign off on it. And if, let's say you want some custom workmanship, they will certainly work with you on that after the fact. You want painting touch-ups, you can request that. And that is a separate bill that you put in writing. And that's what I'm talking about. It's what you want. You, the customer, you come first. So they're going to make your exterior remodeling project a reality no matter what. And no matter what the budget or your timing. You can call, you can text 610-431-8898, 610-431-8898, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Go ahead, dream a little, do what I did. Reach out to Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding. Mark and Mike Chapman, they're great guys, started this business 30 years ago in Chester County. They know what they're doing. They're my guys. Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding. Tell Dawn sent you.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
You log into your DSP. It's confusing. Where do you build a campaign? Where's the report? Targeting's vague, CTV's tacked on and overpriced. Then you find Viant. Setup? Just a chat prompt. AI does the rest. Targeting? People-based and precise across premium publishers. Measurement? Transparent, outcome-driven. And CTV? We've led since streaming meant something. Viant is the DSP that actually gets advertising. Still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano with big news. Rescue's Natural Supplements is rolling back the clock. And prices. That's right, the supplements that you trust at prices you haven't seen in over a decade. Plus, they're offering a massive 33% off on top of already discounted 2010 rollback pricing. That's every product, omega-3s, probiotics, joint support, everything. Prices roll back to get you ready for summer. Just use that code WELLNESS at checkout for 33% off your entire order on Rescue single bottles. To order, call a Rescue product consultant, 800-26-ALIVE. That's 800-262-5483. Or shop online by visiting res-q.com. That's res-q.com. Feel better, get active, turn back the clock with Rescue's 2010 pricing. Wellness, WELLNESS for 33% off on top of the 2010 rollback pricing. Get healthy, get saving at res-q.com. Do it today.
Win a Maserati at Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa during the $1.5 million Luxury and Overdrive drawing. Play and earn entries now through June for your chance at over $1.5 million in prizes, including 2 Maserati Gran Turismo Modenas valued at $200,000. Drawings every Saturday with grand prize drawings May 31st and June 28th. The $1.5 million Luxury and Overdrive. Only at Borgata. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Protect your auto, home, and business with Progressive and get 24/7 coverage. See if you can save at Progressive.com. At Kitchen Magic, we've been transforming kitchens since 1979. Proudly American-made, family-owned, and 100% tariff-proof. That means no international delays and no surprise fees. This month only, take advantage of our 24-month same-as-cash financing. It's time to love your kitchen again. Visit kitchenmagic.com or call 1-800-237-0799. Kitchen Magic, quality that's closer to home.
Just like a strong bullpen closes out the game,
and keeps the wind secure. Plumbers protect the health of the nation. And here in Philadelphia, Plumbers Union Local 690 is always ready to deliver in the clutch. Whether it's hospitals, commercial, industrial, or residential projects, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can trust your job will be done on time, on budget, and built to last. When your business needs to build new or expand, step up to the plate with Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumbers690.org.
Keeping free speech alive. Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT. WPHT.
Oh, man, Kayal and company, and we have great news.
What?
To report.
Not good. Not good.
Great.
Great. Not good.
Great.
Amit.
Great.
Our buddy Amit. Has made a $1,000 donation.
You know what that means, Kayal. You know what that means.
Kayal will be in a suit at some point this summer.
Oh, that's amazing. Amit, my man.
$7,274. 49%. We are basically halfway.
All right, come on.
Towards our $15,000.
Let's keep this going. We're giving you all this entertainment. We just asked. We need to get to 15,000 by July 20th. That means, Nick, so do some math here. If everybody gave $1, how many people?
7,000. Let me see. More emails. Another 125 from Kathy. And another 100 from Michelle.
Come on, Michelle.
So we are at $74.99.
Beautiful.
So we need 7,501 people to donate $1 right now.
All right. We have more people listening to us in Salem County
than Joy Reid does.
So I'm telling everybody right now, get on over to gregsoccersucks.com. Just donate $1. If everybody donated $1, we'd reach our goal by 9 o'clock. Come on. gregsoccersucks.com. All the money goes to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation.
Murph's mom says, how about a donation for Nick to wear sneakers in studio for a week?
Well, that was the question.
I had my Hokas on yesterday.
Are you going to do... When you wear the suit, because Amit ponied up $1,000, are you going to wear flip-flops?
No, dress shoes. I don't do the sneakers with the suit look either. I don't know where that started.
91 LSXer says Nick will show up in some schlub communion suit.
Or I'm going to wear my rental tux that I wore at Piazza last December. Dawn was infatuated with it.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. Phil, put up the link. Put up the link to donate right now, because I'm looking at all you people there in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, everybody that wants to make comments, let's go.
I love it. We're the most transparent show on radio.
Yeah.
I comment in real time. You comment in real time. I read your comments.
I'm just wondering, the biggest trash talker, the biggest critic of the show that hangs out in the YouTube chat with nothing but negative things to say. Have you ever donated $1?
Come on.
Or are you just a total schlub?
Come on.
Uh-oh.
All the money goes to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation to help widows like Marissa Fitzgerald and her family, just to name a few, okay? All the money goes to them. None of it goes to us. We're riding our bikes for charity. By the way, Rob Kalustian has one leg, and he's riding 65 miles for this charity.
Well,
he has one leg.
You would figure he likes the heat, not the cold. But he's a communist.
If he can do it, you can do it.
And do you know that he lost weight, so his prosthetic is loose?
Yeah,
I know.
Poor
guy.
And it's like insurance doesn't cover, and he's still riding.
There, it's up there on the YouTube chat. If our one-legged sales manager can do it, you can do it. What is wrong with you? By the way, I love his wife. She's like a P1 listener. Hopefully she's listening now. We love your husband.
Yeah.
Very much so.
By the way, Rob, it's been a while since we went out for vodka and clubs. So let's go, man.
Can I get into this real fast? Because I want to... Yesterday, Dawn, because she's the highly respected newswoman in the Delaware Valley, nobody can touch her as far as that goes.
Who's this?
I mean, they can touch her if they want to, but that's a problem.
Who?
Dawn Stensland.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you say that.
She reported these 6 suspects that were wanted for viciously attacking a military veteran with a pipe in Philadelphia. There is video. There's surveillance video of the suspects. And since news stations don't love to describe the victims or the perpetrators, we will hear. So get on over to YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. I'm going to play this 6ABC News story where they have video footage of the perpetrators that viciously attacked these Marines with a pipe. I want these people brought up on charges, executed,
firing squad,
dropped into a vat of what was the Joker?
Acid.
Yeah, that. This is cut 6, Phil. Cut 6. Cut 6. There we go. Is there audio of it, or are we just gonna?
We have audio. Is that on Gregory?
No, it's not on Gregory.
All right.
Suspects in
Which
Central
actor
City
is
on
this
June
then?
12th.
I've been a resident of Philadelphia for the last 13 years, and this is the first time I can think of being, fearful of going to like Center City.
Tulin and his friend Robert Whalen are Marine Corps veterans. Both were walking home from a Ton Tavern Legacy Foundation board meeting to prepare for the branch's 250th birthday when they were assaulted. The veterans say they were in the 1500 block of Chestnut Street around 10:45
That's a nice area.
p.m.
By the way, pause it right there. Pause it right there. Pause it right there.
One
Pause
got
it.
up in my face.
Gotta bring it back just a little bit.
Rewind it because
the
I want
suspects.
the suspects on film to
All right.
Legacy Foundation board meeting to prepare for the branch's 250th birthday when they were assaulted. The veterans say they were in the 1500 block of Chestnut Street around 10:45.
Pause it. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
These they don't look more
White
than
supremacist again.
They
White supremacist. Definitely Trump voters. No doubt about it.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. It's like a gang. It's like a wolf
It's a mob.
pack.
It's a mob.
It's like a wolf pack. This is why people need to come to the streets of Philadelphia strapped because of punks
I
like
did.
this.
I got my concealed carry in 2020 in Philadelphia.
Can you imagine?
Lock and load, baby. Concealed carry now.
Tony, Dawn, Nick, we all know this area very well. It's down by Del Frisco's. That's
the heart of Center City.
That is a
that's
a beautiful
That's
area.
the heart of
Yes.
Center City. Aren't there great steakhouses?
Yes.
I mean, the restaurant business is there. And this is what's happening at 15th and Chestnut in the shadows of
I know.
City Hall.
I know. It's disgraceful. I want these.
Has the mayor come out and spoken about this?
I want these kids found. Since nobody can give a description, there's a description right there.
I know Sherelle Parker loves to give these big emphatic speeches where she morphs into like a Tracy Morgan on meth and she's blah, 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 blah. But every time something bad happens, you don't hear anything. And then
Did Larry Krasner come out and condemn the veterans?
No.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Can you roll more of the video footage, Phil?
p.m.
There you go. Thanks.
when the suspects threw water at them.
One got up in my face, and I said, "Hey, we're really nice guys. Please just leave us alone."
Oh my God!
And that's when I saw Sean, get hit by the pipe.
Tulin and Whalen say
Look at
these
the- look-
six suspects
oh,
also
God.
kicked and punched them repeatedly. leaving
Alligator
them bloodied and
Alcatraz.
bruised. Tulin says
Yeah.
he
Look at
had
that.
a
Oh,
huge
my
gash in his head.
I'll
with
take the
concussion
first
and
busload
broken
from
bones,
Philly
while
down here. How
Whalen
about
was
that?
left with
I'll
cuts
rent a
and black
bus
eye.
and I'll take the Alligator Alcatraz. Those 5 guys.
Yep.
I think they're all guys. I will take them and drive them right down I-75, right into Alligator Alcatraz.
You know what the problem is? We say this all the time. There's no consequences for this. So they
Nope,
feel
you're
like
right.
they can do whatever they want to. People are afraid to walk the streets because of punks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right between the eyes.
Now
All of them.
you earlier were calling out 6ABC. I'm assuming as this clip wraps up, they do not mention the suspects at all, other than just rolling the footage of it.
Let's go back to the tape. Let me hear this.
And just on a serious note, when did that change, or has that always been that way? Dawn, when you were doing your thing at either 3 or 29, back in the day, were you giving when you were rolling footage of that? So it's always been this way then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and even when I started here, I was still doing the weekly reports for the Jersey Matters station. They have stopped giving those suspect descriptions unless they have, the philosophy is, unless you have a specific detailed description. Part of this is because, for a very long time, we've had the surveillance images.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they release the image and say you can see for yourself.
The tape does the talking.
But when it's like a dude in a hoodie,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
know.
Unless there are some specific tattoos or something, that you could nail it down. Basically, it was always like, oh, it's a young white dude in a hoodie or a young black dude in a hoodie. Well, that's not even helpful.
And we saw, for those that do not have the benefits of the visual, There's a huge gash in the back of the head for one of the veterans. Do we know what they've been charged with? Or they're not even apprehended, are they?
No.
They didn't even arrest anybody,
Okay.
right?
No.
Was this
They're searching for the suspect.
Was this assault with a weapon? Or was this, I mean...
It would be aggravated assault.
Okay. I mean, that looks like he got hit in the back of the head with like a baseball bat.
Well, I'm sure they're 17 and they'll be out in a year. They'll be out in a year.
God, I hope
I ain't done nothing.
I was scared.
Ugh.
It's awful.
These punks.
I don't listen.
Disgraceful that this happens. And you heard the guy. They're like, "Listen, we're just nice guys. We don't want any.
And these are tough guys. These are Marine veterans,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So this wasn't me and Greg and I walking out, and we're just like, "Oh, please stop!" Like these guys can take care of themselves.
Finish the clip, Phil.
Just wanted to get away.
Now these vets fear for the next potential target. They say these suspects need to be held accountable no matter their age.
As veterans, we've gone out there and tried to protect the country, but then to be in our hometown and have to face violence like this.
I feel lucky that Sean and I weren't more hurt, and they weren't hurt as far as we know.
All right, homework assignment for anybody that's listening. We need to find out if these guys are perhaps with TMF. If not, I would love to have these guys come join us on TMF next year.
I agree.
I would love to have these guys in studio for a segment, whatever.
Look, we're looking for veterans to spotlight from our good friends at
that
Winter
as well.
Nation. So like these guys.
What's his name? Sean Toulon.
Yeah, we'll find him and reach out to him.
Here's the thing that's scary,
Listen, yeah.
and this is a chilling effect even on shopping, because I love shopping on Chestnut Street. So this all started at 15th and Chestnut. That's when these thugs threw a drink or a soda on. That's how it all started. Threw the soda or whatever, threw the drink on the two military veterans, and then followed them. So that's when the guys were like, "Hey, we're good guys. We don't want any problems." Then they walk toward the Ritz-Carlton. And so this is a chilling effect for anybody who hears about this kind of crime. You know what I mean? Like, if they did that to two guys, what are they going to do to a couple of women who are in that area?
If you do it
right in front of the Ritz?
if you do it to Marines in a well-off area with tons of people and foot traffic, where are you safe?
I mean,
what time of day was this? I mean, it was obviously evening,
It
right?
was the evening.
It was like 10 o'clock at night.
It was the evening of June
10
12th.
o'clock at night.
But it was a weeknight.
10 o'clock. Yeah, on a weeknight, 10 o'clock. Now, listen, a lot of people aren't walking around 15th and Chestnut after 10 because restaurants start to close on a Monday night or whatever. But to me, and I don't care what color the perpetrators are, the fact that these people are roaming freely and allowed to do this stuff and then get away with it, you think they're going to be turned in? You think anybody is going to identify these kids and have them turned in? What are the chances? Is there a reward being offered? No. I don't think so, right?
No.
Is there?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, no, they're not going to be turned in because, we don't snitch.
Well, are we still in the dark about the Memorial Day park event?
Good question, Nick Kayal.
That's been a month now, right?
And now they're saying that was, remember they said at first they thought it was 2 shooters. Now it could be 5 shooters. And yet we still you don't hear the updates.
Yeah. By the way, we're 5 minutes away from Fight Club. Fight Club. YouTube.com/@1210 WPHT. Please get on over there right now because we're 5 minutes away from Fight Club. We were sprinkling in over the course of the program today that Zoran Mamdani is won the primary for the Democrat primary, a socialist for the New York mayor. Oh, we have some of him. All right, let's roll him, Phil.
We have won because New Yorkers have stood up for a city they can afford.
Oh, man.
A city where they can do more than just struggle. One where those who toil in the night can enjoy the fruits of their labor in the day. Where hard work is repaid with a stable life. Where 8 hours on the factory floor or behind the wheel of a cab is enough to pay the mortgage. It is enough to keep the lights on. it is enough to send your kid to school, where rent-stabilized apartments are actually stabilized, where buses are fast and free,
Oh, yeah.
where childcare doesn't cost more than CUNY,
What?
and
Oh.
where public safety keeps us truly safe.
Utopia.
And it's where the mayor will use their power to reject Donald Trump's fascism.
There it is.
There it is.
There's the dented beetle.
To stop mass ICE agents from deporting our neighbors.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that'll.
And to govern
New
our
Yorkers are.
city as a model for the Democratic Party.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So what, 2032 or 2036? He'll be running for...
I'll tell you what, right now, if this guy wins, Gavin Newsom's going to have to find more. Not only will Gavin Newsom need to find more U-Hauls, New York will have to find more You know how hard it is to get a U-Haul truck in New
Yep.
York to get the hell out of there?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I know.
So we've been asking the question for 6 months, right? What have the Democrats learned? The answer is nothing. We've been pondering, will the Democrats slide a little bit to the right? No, they've slid further left. We've got our answer, folks.
Absolutely. Andrew Cuomo, the Love Gov, concedes to Zohran Mamdani in the New York City primary. You hate to see
Now,
this
how do you
happen.
know Mike Pence isn't going to go in there today and stage an insurrection on behalf of Andrew Cuomo? By the way, did you see Kathy Hochul? This is how phony these politicians are.
Yeah.
So Kathy Hochul, obviously, who supported that Lander guy who was out there pretending that he was, helping ICE people get out of. Remember Lander, that idiot, Brad Lander, who got like 3 votes.
Yep.
There were like 11 people that were on the ballot. The bottom line is now Kathy Hochul says, "Oh, congratulations to Zoltar, whatever his name is. It's time we sit down and discuss the future of New York City." Really, Kathy? Your face is so frozen, I don't think you'll even understand when you're talking to him about the future of New York City. But you know who the happiest guy is today?
Who?
Eric, what's his name?
Adams.
The current mayor.
Adams.
Eric Adams is already on all the morning talk shows,
He
basically lighting up cigars and saying, if I don't win re-election because he's an independent,
Yep.
Curtis Sliwa will be the Republican candidate in the general election, and then you got Zoltar. And so this is going to be the most interesting election in the country, really, because Chicago went from one bad mayor to a worse one now, who's got like a 9% approval rating. Sherelle Parker's okay. She's not making too much. She's not causing too many issues. She just lays low until something bad happens. But the New York situation is going to be the petri dish for the future of every big city in America. This is the biggest city in America now.
Oh.
I mean, L.A. was getting all the headlines about their insanity there with their governors and their mayors. Now you got New York City right in the crosshairs of the future of the Democratic Party and the future of America.
Just wait, Tone, until California goes from Gavin Newsom as governor to Kamala Harris.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
Andrew Cuomo concedes. Roll this.
Put forth, and I'm proud of the issues that we discussed. But tonight was not our night.
Nope.
Tonight was Assemblyman Mamdani's night, and he put together a great campaign, and he touched young people and inspired them and moved them and got them to come out and vote. And he really ran a highly impactful campaign. I called him. I congratulated him. I applaud him sincerely for his effort. And let's give him a round of applause.
Oh, let's give him a round of applause.
Applause. How many times can I say applause in 45 seconds? I applaud him. I applaud this. I applaud that.
Tune in tonight at 8
now
as
he
Andrew
and his
Cuomo
brother
joins
could go back
Chris.
into a show on some fringe cable news channel that no one's ever heard of or can't find on their TV. But the question, though, this is to Kathy Hochul. Today, voters made their voices heard, demanding a more affordable, more livable New York City. I hear them loud and clear. Zohran Mamdani built a formidable grassroots coalition. I look forward to speaking with him in the days ahead about his ideas on how to ensure a safe, livable New York City.
Yes.
This is, if you are a moderate, if you're a centrist, or just a common sense Republican, or even a common sense Democrat, much less a Trump supporter, this result and the impending results that are going to be coming up here later in November, this is a great ad to relocate to red states. Why? I mean, seriously, whether it's Tennessee, Florida, Texas. I mean, if New York didn't have an exodus over the last 5 years, just wait until this goes into effect.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. We will get to Fight Club in just 1 second. I just want to play this and just kind of round off the New York primary thing. Ella Emhoff.
Oh, Dougie's daughter.
Kamala Harris' stepdaughter shared a video of her entering the New York City polling place to vote for mayoral candidate, socialist, and anti-Semite Zohran Mamdani. So she gave a YouTube video to showing who she was voting for. Roll this.
You know, I'm feeling a little trauma walking to the same polling station that I did to vote for Kamala.
Is that a Band-Aid on your shoulder?
I have to ask. We say this all the time. The affected voice of all of these Gen Z dip
bleep
stuffs.
Bleeps.
What is it?
Yeah. Phil, just slide the freeze frame right into our YouTube screen here if you can. Yeah. Now I want to see a little roll it just a little bit. I want to see that Band-Aid on that shoulder and freeze it. Does she get the latest booster?
Yeah. It does appear that like that, doesn't it? All right, Phil,
Isn't her dad Jewish?
Yes.
Yeah. And she's voting for a guy that believes in okay.
All right, let's start it over, Phil. Go.
You know, I'm just feeling a lot of hope right now.
Oh, wait, hang on. That's my fault. Start it over again.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
3 rack this sucker.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
You know, I'm feeling a little trauma walking to the same polling station that I did to vote for Kamala. And, you know, I'm just feeling a lot of hope right now. We did it. I'm feeling a huge mix of emotions. I'm really nervous, but I'm also so hopeful. It's been so spectacular seeing New York come together in this way and rally behind Zohran. And yeah, let's do this, guys.
Yeah, let's do this, guys.
Yeah. I can't imagine what it's like to always have to explain the trauma you're living through.
I know.
As such a self-entitled dunce like she is. I mean, seriously.
What's her trauma?
Yeah, exactly.
She grew up privileged, extreme. Her dad is very wealthy.
Yes.
She doesn't shave her pits. That's my trauma.
I'm experiencing a mix of emotions. I mean, everybody on this show right now lives and breathes politics. It's our living. It's our profession. And we all know how bad the last administration was under Biden. Got to tell you, as bad as it was when I went to Stony Creek Elementary on November 6th, 2024, or November 5th, 2024 to vote, wasn't experiencing much trauma. And I got to tell you, I didn't have a mix of emotions as I walked into that elementary school to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I hated Joe Biden the way he ran the country. Well,
By the way,
no
the
emotions.
breakdowns is just the interesting story about the election. Last night, as soon as he won, this Zohan guy, the searches for socialism went up like 1,000,000%. People were like, "What's a socialist?"
Of course,
and then they found
of
out.
course.
And here's the best part:
Yep.
the majority of people who make the moderate, the low income people or the middle income people in New York all voted against this guy. They voted against him. So the everyday person knows that this guy's a fraud. You know, we talk about qualifications and AOC being a bartender. This guy had zero qualifications. This guy had zero background in doing anything. He was in a rap video. He was a rapper.
Yeah.
And again, so everybody traps Trump. Well, you know, Donald Trump was a talk show host. And this guy has zero experience. And people are excited to vote for him. Well, the poor people in New York even don't want this guy to be mayor.
I think it's
obviously the rich people are going to vote for him.
Yep. I think it's a combination of Hochul, Adams, and Cuomo the last 5 years. The resistance to a Republican. Don't understand that, but it is what it is. But for one thing I will give him credit for, he used social media to his advantage.
Oh, yeah.
And he does have a very, very high level of energy. And, you know, that for some reason that captivates a certain segment for people to vote for.
All right.
Well, plus the media fell in love with him. That's the thing. When the media picks a candidate, because everybody hates Cuomo. We saw what he did. Cuomo shouldn't have been the mayor of New York.
No.
He shouldn't have been the governor of New York. But this guy, again, is he going to win? Eric Adams has to be feeling pretty good today.
Yeah.
As much as the government tried to shut him down.
We are way late, so let me just say this. The never-ending cut sheet was sponsored by Amazon because it's so long we need count them, 2 sponsors. If you love deals, you'll love this. Prime deal is lasting 4 days. How many days, Nick Kayal?
Tony Bruno, how many?
4.
4 days. That's 4 days of unbelievable deals in every category you can think of. So you can save big on everything you're into. Shop Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th. That's Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th. Thank you, Amazon for sponsoring the ever-important What's on the Cut Sheet extended edition. And now we have to do this.
Kayal and Company Fight Club.
6 minutes late.
Fight.
Yeah.
I am looking for a fight.
Fights will go on as long as they have to.
We know fights equal rating.
You got knocked the out, man.
Yeah. What's on the Cut Sheet? Fight Club, sponsored by Tri-County Auto Group. 3 locations, 1 priority you. Visit TriCounty.com. TriCounty.com. Thank you, Tri-County, for sponsoring the ever-important What Up Wednesday with Tony Bruno edition of Fight Club. Okay, I'm just reading. Yeah. Let me just read how this clip was sent to me. I believe Brandon, not Let's Go Brandon, but I believe Brandon submitted this one. This is a gay student fighting a homophobic student in class and beats him up and drags him down. Okay. So this is a big, according to the description here, a big gay kid,
not trans,
who was being
bullied,
and he knocks his bully
so
F out.
This is the G in the LGBTQ plus against a homophobe.
You have to see this guy, by the way. I don't know. This is definitely school. I don't know what grade, but this dude is humongous. Roll this.
Come on, right now. Let's go. Cool thing. We're live. I'm going to show you.
Uh-oh.
I'm assuming the homophobe is in the black sweatshirt.
Yeah. Can't you tell by the guy's shirt?
Yes.
Giant lips.
Yeah. Nice work.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him.
Down. That's
wow.
UFC grade.
I know.
It is.
Did he tap out? Did the guy tap out?
Look at
Wow.
Yeah. YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/@1210 WPHT. Man.
Yeah. Shout out to the gay dude for whipping some serious keister there.
Damn right, man.
That guy, damn right. He might be gay, but he also might be a left tackle for the high school football team. That's a big boy right there.
Phil, can you just play the
Howie
Roseman?
That was biblical.
Yeah,
that's biblical.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman's going to start recruiting this guy if he goes undrafted.
Words matter.
Look, he's swinging his
He's
arms
got
around.
the hands going.
Swings like, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Come on.
The other kid barely gets in a punch.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get in a punch.
He's got him down, and he just haymakers.
Yeah.
Man,
Hey.
Daniel Valdez took a beat down.
This is a...
I haven't seen that much
hook.
action since a Walmart, and somebody tried to get out of a Walmart with a shopping cart full of stuff.
See what happens? You've got a homophobic person, and then probably a gay person who feels like Pride Month's been hijacked by the Middle East, and he went boots to asses like The Rock. I love it.
Boots to asses.
Good work out of that dude.
By the way, that is years of rage coming out in that kid.
We need
right?
Yeah,
those just years of rage.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a 5-on-3 handicap match. We're going to take our 2 vets that were assaulted in Center City at 15th and Chestnut, pair them with the gay enforcer right there against those 5 punks on 6 ABC.
By the way, you think, like I know everybody says that America is not tolerant of gay people, and we point to the Middle East. The African American culture, they're not tolerant of the gay community at all.
No, they throw around the 3-letter F word all the time.
You can see the years of rage from this individual. So thank you, Tri-County Auto Group, for sponsoring today's Fight Club. That was a biblical, as Tony Bruno said, biblical beatdown.
I've got to say, I know we're only at the turn, but that's the leader in the clubhouse for me right now.
Agreed.
The leader in the club.
It's only Wednesday. By the way, I have a ton of submissions, So if I have not gotten to yours yet, just be patient. I will. You can submit them, greg.stocker@autosea.com, or you can give them to me on Twitter. You can send them to me on Twitter.
I'll tell you what I would love to see, now that we have somebody in the LGBTQ community making Fight Club. I want to see trans on trans Fight Club. I think that would be epic. That would have to be the winner.
Do they fight? I don't know if they do.
There'd be hair pulling. There'd be yelling. Say my pronouns.
YouTube.com/@1210.
I was thinking of another idea last night.
Yeah?
There should be a trans strip club.
Yeah.
Right? So every dancer is trans. So if you're into trans people, you go to the strip club, and then you have a choice.
Tony Bruno, as a man
Why
who's
not
been
that?
known to make it rain, would you make it rain at a trans strip club?
That's not what he's into.
Not my particular taste, but at least you know what you see.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, that's what we have, and we have to make room for the families behind the badge, so we should say goodbye to Tony.
All right, Tony, great stuff, brother.
Love you,
Thank you very
Tony.
much.
Love
Good
you,
night,
Tony.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
You got it.
Let's go Phillies, and let's go Johan Rojas.
That's
Let's
right.
get him out of here.
Damn right.
Stop it.
Exactly. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by the Piazza Auto Group at Piazza Volkswagen of Langhorne and Ardmore. You can get up to a $1,000 customer bonus or 3.9% financing for 60 months on the 2025 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport. Boy, that Atlas Cross Sport is beautiful. Visit PiazzaVW.com to explore inventory and schedule a test drive today.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992 today.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you text RADIO to 64,000. That's RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli here with my friend Matt from Emmons Roofing and Siding. When it comes to protecting your home, you need a roofer that you can trust to do the job right.
That's why at Emmons, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbors who've built our reputation on honesty, craftsmanship, and superior customer service.
Well, take it from me. Whether it's a roof repair or a full replacement, siding, windows, or doors, Emmons delivers long-lasting protection and peace of mind.
The most expensive project is the one you do twice, so call us today at 856-556-3229 or visit callemmons.com.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation, Mark O'Connor, Jack Costello coming up in just a couple of minutes. Keep the donations coming. GregStalkerSucks.com. We'll give you an update in just a few minutes. But now, an update on the world of news and other stories that are out there. Time for a Dawn Stenslin Big 3 at 9:25.
It's the Big 3 and 9 on Kayal and Company.
Sponsored by Kitchen Magic, we have the new search for new suspects. These are after a driver was robbed at gunpoint. This is after a crash. So Philadelphia police releasing some images of these suspects who held a man at gunpoint, stole his cell phone after being involved in a crash. Now, we don't know if the suspects caused the crash and then used that as the opportunity to prey on the victim. But in this one, they're releasing some new information for us and images of these robbers, and then trying to check out, do these accused, gunmen, do they match the description of others in the past? All this is breaking new developments as they're just releasing this information to us as these two gunmen are still being were involved in the crash with the victim, we're told, and the vehicle was moving out of a gas station parking lot, happened along the 1400 block of Glenwood Avenue in Philadelphia. So releasing that information, they let the victim go. He was not shot, but he was threatened, and I say robbed with a gun pointed at his face. So we have that going on. We also, with regard to this heat wave today, the heat is on once again with the heat indices feeling much more like it's well above 100 degrees. So be safe out there. We are expecting some pop-up storms that could be violent this evening, right around the 7-8 o'clock hour. And that should cool us down. Thank goodness, finally. So the 80s are going to feel, they're going to feel so good tomorrow. So we will get some relief. But unfortunately, Peco reporting that still more than 1,000 people, tomorrow will be a full week, they've been without power. So we had over a third of a million people who were without power due to that storm. But at this point, still a little over 1,000 still in Montgomery County, Delco without power. And that brings us to the Peco union president says it's Peco's fault.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. The whole thing is unacceptable that so many people are still without power. It really is. Like, in this day and age.
I mean, it wasn't that bad of a... It blew through in 20 minutes.
I know.
It's not like it was Hurricane Sandy, for God's sake.
So when a tornado hits here, because it's going to happen, it's happened, in the last couple of years, when a tornado hits here, a hurricane, and does some serious damage, we're not prepared for it. That's just what this shows me.
Yep.
That's the claim from the union president, who says Peco was not prepared and had to bring in outside workers who don't know the area, are not as up to speed or well trained.
We played the story yesterday of that doctor who is literally curing or helping do operations on prostate cancers for people in Africa.
Yeah, virtually.
And Peco's like, 1,000 people with that power. I don't know. The wires must have been crossed.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Thank you.
Well, maybe technology would help, you know?
Yes.
Because apparently part of this is technological, according to the union president. He says that, in fact, it's a part of the dispatch. There's communication, so sometimes he claims those Peco workers, they'll get done with one job, but then there's a communication breakdown with dispatch, so they're waiting for an hour. Dispatch, where do we go next?
And the pros and cons of technology.
Yeah, it's gross.
And then they'll go to a site where the people go, no, our power went on, 2 hours ago. So communication troubles. So Peco denies that, but we will get to the bottom of it surely. Kitchen Magic, our sponsor, stuck in traffic on the way to the shore. Well, imagine you come home from the shore to a brand new, beautiful kitchen, your dream kitchen from Kitchen Magic. American-made, family-owned, they're local and tariff-proof. This June, you're running out of time. Do this month. Get 24 months, same as cash financing. Visit kitchenmagic.com, kitchenmagic.com. Do it. What are you waiting for? kitchenmagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you. That's the big three.
All right, Dawn, thank you very much. Just 3.5 weeks until the 38th annual Bend to the Shore Bike Tour, and the great fellows, Mark O'Connor and Jack Costello, coming in studio next. We'll talk to them, as well as give you all the shout-outs with the big donations. We just had a $500 spot. We'll tell you about that coming up next. But first, let me tell you about our friends at Bucks County Estate Traders. The reality is they don't make furniture like they used to, and they are your summer home upgrade destination. What's today's date? Yeah, it's June 25th. June 30th through July 7th, fast approaching their 4th of July sale, where you will get 20 to 50% off select items store-wide. Doesn't matter if you're looking for classic, you're searching for modern, you want rustic, you're craving traditional, you'll find over 16,000 pieces of high-end furniture, from vintage treasures to designer showstoppers. We're talking about brands like Stickley and Henredon and Baker. It's the kind of quality that lasts for generation after generation after generation at a fraction of retail prices. And unlike those big box stores, if you see something you love, you can take it home the same day. Every piece comes with a QR code for instant info, and their team, straight shooters, unlike the criminals in Philadelphia in Dawn's News, these are straight shooters with no pushy sales tactics. Shop the sale, BucksCountyEstateTraders.com. And here's the extra little tidbit you need to know. Use the code USA25. That's USA25, or visit their Hatfield showroom. Extended hours now available, and they're even open on Sundays. You don't want to miss the incredible 4th of July sale. Again, 20 to 50% off select items, June 30th through July 7th.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Joe Mederchik, PNC Bank Regional President. People ask us, is PNC just a boring bank? Well, that depends. Is starting a business boring, or being the first person in your family to go to college? For nearly 160 years, we've done the hard and occasionally boring work of banking to deliver brilliant results to our clients. To see what boring banking can do for you, stop into any of our local branches right here in the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Larry Snyder with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday.
Hit the road this season to watch our world champion football team. Book your trip with Fans of Philly. Trips are now available for pre-order to Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, and more. Travel in style with transportation, a pregame party, and game tickets to enjoy the Birds on the road this season with Fans of Philly, the official travel partner of 94 WIP and the Eagles Radio Network. Book now at fansofphilly.com. That's fans with a PH of Philly.com.
Do you know your numbers? What numbers? Your heart health numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and your body mass index. They're important, so ask your doctor. Learn your numbers, and if something doesn't seem right with them, see a Deborah specialist at one of our offices throughout South Jersey. After all, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. Find a specialist near you at demanddeborah.org.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992 today.
This summer, Hester Chevrolet is making it easier than ever to drive home in a new Chevy. Get a new 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 just $43,999. Other summer savings include a 2025 Chevy Equinox LT lease for $289 a month for 36 months, or finance an EV with 0% APR for 60 months. Hester Chevrolet, Philly's trusted Chevy dealer. Visit HesterChevy.com. Call 267-343-9094 for details. Together, let's drive.
Hester Chevrolet.
Just wanted to touch base again. Mary with Wayne Realty Corp here. I'm so happy some of you took me up on my offer to visit. We love talking real estate and have the expertise, knowledge, and experience to help everyone. We are your realtors for life. Take a moment to visit us at WayneRealtyPA.com. Call 610-687-5280 or feel free to pop in and have a cup of coffee.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli here with my friend Matt from Emmons Roofing and Siding. If you're like me, your house took a real beating this winter from all the snow, ice, and storms.
At Emmons Roofing and Siding, we're here to put it back together. We specialize in storm-resistant roofing and siding systems designed to last no matter what Mother Nature throws at it.
Well, Emmons is who I use and recommend, so call Emmons today at 856-556-3229 for a free roof inspection.
Or visit us at callemmons.com.
Callemmons.com. Emmons, protecting homes, one roof at a time.
Calling on Huntington Valley to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it today.
.936, Kayal and Company as we roll on. And in studio this morning, the great folks with Families Behind the Badge, FBBCF, Mark O'Connor, Jack Costello, and we also have the marketing coordinator of Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation, way over in the corner. Where is she? There she is. Hello, Mackenzie. Can you hear me now? Are we good? Beautiful. Boys, good to see you again.
Great to see you.
Great to see you, Nick.
Greg Stocker has been training.
Thank you.
I have been training. Stephanie Mack has apparently not been training the way she used to back in her bike riding heyday. So I'm just going to go out on a limb just to spice up the conversation. I think not only will I smoke Stephanie, but Stocker will as well.
That is not true. That is fake news.
I can't put words in his mouth, but that's just my personal prediction.
Mark, I plan to finish the ride as Sunday, July 21st, or 20th, right?
20th.
Yes. So you're going to finish it Monday?
I'll finish it Monday, July 21st. So that is my plan.
As long as you finish. Yeah. I'll be waiting for you, Greg.
Yes.
Never mind.
No, we'll leave it there. Yeah, we'll save that for the rest of the show. So a lot of great donations coming in. We've raised over $3,500 just this morning. Another $500 donation from Lynn.
So
now we are, if I'm looking at the math, let me see if there's a couple of other big ones. We had Mike donated another $100.
Thank you, Mike.
Let's see if we have any other big ones. $250 from, oh my God, this can't be true. Rosie O'Donnell. Maybe she's streaming us from Ireland.
Yeah.
But Rosie has donated $250. And let's see, we are now up to a grand total of $8,614 or 57% of our goal.
So Dawn or Nick, since math is not my strong suit, how much do we need for 10,000? Because I'd like to end the show on 10,000.
15,000 minus 8614 is 6,386.
No, you didn't hear what I said. I said 10,000.
Oh. 10,000 minus 8614.
About 1,400.
Yeah, it would be minus 8614. We need 1,386.
We need $1,300.86 before 10 o'clock. Can somebody do that? We don't need one person to make one big donation.
Yes.
How about just a...
That's $1,386.
Thank you.
Yes.
How about just, 1,300 people right now making a $1 donation?
There you go.
How about that? GregStockerSucks.com. It goes to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation, where helping people like Marissa Fitzgerald going through the hell that she's going through right now. Right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously,
This trial.
with Maureen, Marissa, some of these conversations that have been had, and obviously this is a tough week for not only Marissa Fitzgerald, but also people like Maureen Faulkner, like you were saying, Mark. This is something that these people, these individuals, these brave, courageous widows, Maureen has to live with this every single day. And then when you get brought back into this and you have to go into a courtroom and you have to watch visual evidence, I can't imagine what those people are dealing with.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. And Marissa, I spoke with Marissa and Maureen on Saturday, and Marissa had great trepidation about the trial, which was starting on Monday. And I think we've said before, we move on with our lives and we kind of forget that they've lost the most important person in their life. And now not only does she wake up and Christopher's not there, but now she's got to go to court and watch the video where her husband is literally assassinated, laying on the ground. And she's got to deal with the fact that the DA of Philadelphia doesn't think that's first-degree murder. And so we forget that. And if anybody wants to donate, our money goes to Marissa Fitzgerald, goes to Maureen Faulkner, goes to these survivors to help them cope with this as they continue with their lives.
Yeah. And I think one other thing worth pointing out here is that Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation, and Jack and Mackenzie, if you want to talk about this would be great. You guys are one of the 4 finalists this year for the Wawa Hero Award, which comes with a prize of $50,000.
I am a wife of a firefighter, so I always think that could be me on the receiving end of those donations, and that would be my worst nightmare. But unfortunately, there are some wives that live that every day, so it's really important. So yeah, if you could go and vote for Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation to win that award, we would be really grateful for that.
How do you go vote there?
So you can go to the Wawa Foundation HeroAward.com. It's all over our social media pages.
All right, I'm doing that right now.
All right. I'm receiving some text that we cannot. People on YouTube cannot hear Mackenzie for whatever that's worth. Well-oiled machine today.
We can hear you fine.
I can hear
radio,
you.
so
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So I was told double digits now as far as survivors on a riding team, some of which are named after their loved ones for their team name, which is fascinating. Maybe we can highlight some of them.
Yeah, so we have at least 10 survivors that are riding, including Maureen Faulkner and Marissa Fitzgerald. And the aforementioned Ms. Stephanie Mack will be riding as well.
Yep.
So we're in a great position, and we offer these survivors another outlet for healing. It gives them a goal and a challenge to go through with this ride, to train for it, keeps their mind off things, keeps them occupied, and it's a great accomplishment when they get to the finish line and they join each other together, and we celebrate the memory of their fallen loved ones and just the service and sacrifice of our first responders. It's a great day.
I have to say, I've been very impressed, not only with the surge of donations today, but the amount of people that are actually signing up to ride this year.
It's been great.
This is the 3rd straight year that I've done it, and I think this team is bigger, not only than the first 2 years, but maybe the first 2 years combined.
It is.
So we are going to show up in full force. I know
It's all
Stalker's
because
got
of
the
me.
jersey
It's all
coming.
because of me. Thank you very much. It's all because of me.
Well, you're finally coming out of your cocoon.
I'm finally coming out. I'm training. I'm like Rocky, eating drinking the raw eggs and stuff.
Oh boy.
Mark, are you going to do the ride?
I am not.
You're not? Okay.
Yeah, I will not be doing it this year.
All right.
I believe Rob Kalustian is going to partake.
Rob is signed up.
Rob, one leg.
Rob has one leg and he's doing the ride. So
Yeah.
there's no excuse why I can't do it. I mean,
I think Greg's taking a shot at me there. I don't know. Sounds like
it.
Listen. We kid, and the name Greg Stocker Sucks. The domain name. We put it up there because we like to have fun on the show, and that's what we do. But redirecting it to these causes is something that I made sure we did, because how important this cause is to me. I've been a supporter of you guys for years. I haven't done this ride since I was about 29. I'm 45 now, O'Connor. I don't know if I can roll this.
Decades.
I know. It's been, as Nick likes to point out, it's been since Obama was president that I last did this ride.
Yeah, you got a dad bod now. Things change.
How dare you?
You got a dad bod. So do I, though. So do I. I've got a dad bod.
No, don't compare us, Kayal.
As you can tell.
Don't compare us. How dare you?
I'm carrying some accessories here.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think there's some people that maybe say, I can't do 65. Well, you can do 30. You can do 10. But I got to tell you, even if you're out of shape, you can still pull off the 65. It might take you 7 hours.
Can I tap off? Can I tap out at 30? If I
Absolutely.
Yeah, Wayne will bring you in the police cruiser.
I don't know if I'd get in the car with Wayne, but we'll get you down there safely.
There's a little shame, Stenslin. There's a little shame, isn't there? I mean, come on.
But honestly, it's seriously, and I was telling you about my training before. I'm doing the bike trail on 202 up to Cowpike all the way up to Doylestown in the Bucks County. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs. But this ride, you go over the Ben Franklin, take your time, steep incline, and then that last stretch, the final 3 miles, you swear you're at the boardwalk and you're not. And that's tough. But the rest of it is very manageable.
Yeah, very flat. 4 rest stops, lots of support for the ride.
Police
so absolutely.
escorts, fire trucks. We're all riding in groups, taking our time. And latch in with a group. You don't have to stay with your team. God knows we've got guys like Road Warrior. He's going to zip past me. I'm not worried about staying with him. Stay in your comfort zone, and you're fine.
Major announcement. Thank you to this audience. We have just reached $10,000.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much.
Come on.
I mean, this audience is the absolute best. Keep the donations coming. Our goal is actually 15,000, but I wanted to hit 10,000 before the end of the show because we've been really pumping it up today, and the great people from the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation were kind enough to come in here.
Yes.
So we really appreciate your donations. Please keep them coming. You can donate $1. Honestly, if everybody donated $1 that's listening right now, we'd surpass the $15,000 mark. So that's all you need to do. You don't need to do big donations. Any little bit helps.
That's correct. Mackenzie, Jack, Mark.
I was going to say, how about if Greg? We have a tandem in our office. How about if Greg and Kevin Pools do a tandem? Will that drive some dollars? I think.
Kevin Pools.
Oh my God.
Kevin Pools, you're doing nothing right now but listening to every word we're saying.
Get on the
Post
bike,
that
Kevin.
link everywhere you go.
Kevin is the one who bought the domain name GregStalkerSucks.com. So shout out to him for doing that. Because it, like I said, it redirects to all of these charities. We get none of this money. We're doing this all for this charity because we all believe in it. We love this charity.
Yes.
We love the people behind it. I don't know if I can do 65 miles.
Well, look, my thought process before Stalker decided to get involved was I was going to take off the Monday after the ride this year, stay down in Atlantic City, wife and daughters, do the hotel thing for the night. But now the fact that Stalker is riding, I have to be here the next day.
You have.
And I am going to analyze and break down the tape, clip by clip.
Oh, God.
We actually, honestly, we have great video people. We need some video highlights to make the cut sheet of Stalker on the bike.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, we'll have people down here that hopefully can do a Stalker cam.
That's right. All right. Jack, Mark, Mackenzie, you guys are the best. Thank you so much.
Please keep the donations coming. $1. $1 from every listener right now is all we need. $1 from every listener right now is all we need to reach $15,000. GregStalkerSucks.com.
Great to see you guys again.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, you got it. All right. We'll come back, wrap up the show. We've got the morning mystery movie clip today in music history and what's on tap for the Dawn Show. Stay right there. We're back after this.
Got to talk about my friends from Piazza Auto Group. I have some really exciting news from my friends at the Piazza Auto Group. Acura has just been named America's Best Value Luxury Brand in Kelley Blue Book's 2025 Consumer Choice Awards. What does it mean? Well, it means top performance, cutting-edge tech, as well as unmistakable style, all with long-term value you can trust. From the sporty Integra to the all-new ADX, Acura delivering more for your drive and your dollar. Visit Piazza Acura in Ardmore, Reading, or Westchester. You can always shop online, piazzaacura.com, Piazza, piazzaacura.com for all their special offers. PiazzaAutoGroup.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. Get an affordable online skills-based education to move your career forward. UMGC offers no-cost digital materials in place of textbooks in most courses, low-cost tuition, and over $21 million in scholarship opportunities each aid year. Find out if you qualify at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Big news! Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange, and millions like you are joining our news revolution. Newsmax is now the 4th highest-rated news channel, just behind CNN. Reuters says we're one of the top news brands in America. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and more. So download our free Newsmax app on your smartphone or TV and start watching. President Trump says Newsmax is truly terrific. Get the free Newsmax app and check out Newsmax shares on the stock exchange. Go to newsmaxinvest.com. That's newsmaxinvest.com. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such an offer would be unlawful.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back?
back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Free speech lives here with Don Stensland, 10 till noon on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Due to time constraints, we move ahead in the program. There will be no morning mystery movie clip today. Sorry, Jimmy Kelly. But now we get ready at 9:55 for Phil Almquist and what occurred today in music history.
What happened on this day in music history?
That was good.
Kayal and Company.
Today, June 25th, we celebrate the heavenly birthdays of Alan Lear from Blue Oyster Cult, as well as Ian MacDonald from King Crimson and Foreigner. We also lost Michael Jackson, as well as Farrah Fawcett on this day in 2009. Singles include Unskinny Bop by Poison in 90. Album include Chicago 6 by Chicago in 73. Days Go By The Offspring in 2012. Strange Beautiful Music by Joe Satriani in 2002. Huey Lewis's debut in 80. The Dreamweaver by Gary Wright in 75. And Purple Rain by Prince in 1984. Also in 2009, a souvenir poster with all 4 Beatles signatures sold at auction for over $52,000. In 2023, Elton John played his last UK show. In 66, the Beatles were atop the singles chart with Paperback Writer. In 2010, Rush got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And in 88, Van Halen was atop the album chart with OU812. But lastly, Cage the Elephant announced a fall tour, including a Philly show on my birthday, October 25th. For Kayal & Company, I'm Phil Almquist.
Phil Almquist killing it as always. And the Dawn Show always follows us at 10, and we find out what she has lined up.
Man, we have a lot. We have jam-packed. Trump just spoke out, so we'll get the latest or a lot of breaking developments on that one. Our friend Linda Kearns, who's our hero, she was the one, by the way, who donated well over $1,000, 12 to 1,400.
Oh, nice. Really? Linda, thank you. I didn't realize that.
I couldn't even keep up with the emails.
Thank you, Linda.
So thank you, Linda Kearns. And I don't know if maybe Greg or Nick will have to sing a little Elvis.
More Elvis music.
She keeps feeding me good high-end Italian olive oil. I'll do whatever she wants.
What? You'll rub yourself with what did you say?
Remember she came back from Italy. She gave me the big bottle of olive oil.
So she's going to call in at 11 because she wants to update us. You know, we've talked about all these different elections cases. So she is an election integrity attorney, as well as very generous to families who back the badge, families behind the badge. So we'll talk to her at 11 o'clock. I'll talk to a local lieutenant talking about what's going on locally with police, the state of police, and just thinking about what's happening in our region, defund the police, trying to refund the police, and weave that in with New York numbers. As far as NYPD, those numbers are down drastically, and those guys are all moving to Florida, moving south. We have a real problem on our hands. And so we'll weave all of that together. There's a ton breaking. Stay right there. You want to hear all of it. And dun, 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 with shore season, warmer water, the heat wave, what about sharks in the water? Are there as many? So 50 years after Jaws, I'll update you on the shark situation.
It's a 20-footer, 25.
I need a new boat.
All right, that'll do it for us. Stay tuned. Dawn is up next. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow morning. And don't forget, Peco, try to get it together because we know
they don't know what the they're doing.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio.